Hi, everyone. Take it away,
Hey,
Rich.
hello everybody. Welcome to TPK Games and episode 5 of the campaign. How's everyone doing tonight?
Good.
Big thumbs up.
Great.
Well, we do.
Big thumbs up. Many thumbs have gotten up. Excellent. I'm glad to see all you guys. It's always so long. We play every 2 weeks, and I miss you guys during those off weeks. I truly do.
We do too. I miss playing in those off weeks.
You say that now, but then Rich is going to throw a bunch of really wild and dangerous shit our way, and we're going to quickly regret convening again.
That's what he misses.
takes-
He misses torturing
Yeah.
us.
And then
Yeah,
it takes
I
2
call it
weeks to just
quality
get over
time.
it.
You gotta
He has to
sleep
be
off the
kind
night.
to regular misses people torture. on the streets, you know? But us, not so much.
Oh, it is the worst kindness. So what's going on with everybody? Anybody doing anything new? Have we all seen Black Panther yet?
I
that a thing we've
haven't.
done?
No.
What?
I did.
Sacrilege. Well, don't say anything. Spoilers.
I was going to say, is this
No.
homework? Are you going to throw a bunch of, Wakanda people at us now?
Oh no, definitely not. They would be allies anyway. But no homework. There's no homework for D&D. Just memorize your spells and you'll be all right.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you're a
That is
spellcaster,
homework.
there's homework.
I guess it is technically.
That's
it is
why I
technically
stick with
homework.
rogues.
Excellent. So yeah, we did a play test this week, John and I, along with some of your friends, Taryn. That was super exciting to actually cross the streams with some other folks.
Yeah, it was crazy to watch, but I enjoyed watching it. It was crazy to see all four of you together. My brain didn't understand what was happening.
It's really cool to meet those guys, and I certainly always have fun playing anything, even if only for a night of combat. To get to play a character is a delight that I rarely enjoy. So I really savored it, and we'll be squeezing blood from that stone for months to come, I'm sure.
The craziest thing is that I never knew, Taryn, that the guy you play with is Alex Ward, and we have Alex Donsky and Alan Ward in this game, and it was like a
The
total
fusion.
weird.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
It was some mind-blowing stuff to have Alex Ward when I was just like, wait, no, Alex Donsky, Alan Ward. What?
I didn't realize that. I've never realized that. That's never happened in my brain. Thank you for that.
It was surreal. When the email chain started coming, I was like, what's going on here?
I thought
is
he had
this
maybe
guy?
added the other two. I was like, is this the wrong thread? Are we in our own thread for this? It was crazy.
It really was crazy. Excellent. So,
Pay attention.
to the matter at hand, the matter of Dungeons and Dragons. So do you guys have any questions or any thoughts about last time before we dive in?
I would
Well, yeah,
love
I
a
guess-
recap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We lost a couple of combatants. I remember that. We got some nice
True.
loot at the end of it. We got Thinnea back. That should probably be the top of the order declaration. Piece
Mhm.
of top story.
She
That's
comes
good
with a
loot.
son now. I adopted a son.
Yep, it's true. Yep. Thinnea and family. But we have the whole Hallowwhisper family adventuring. So, last time, as we had picked up episode 4 of the campaign, you guys were without your rogue. Thinnea Hallowwhisper had been kidnapped. And so you guys very calmly just kind of set up camp and slept for the night despite her being gone. But she was able to extricate herself from the situation in the morning with a little help from your friendly neighborhood wyvern. And through some clever use of magic from our friendly neighborhood priest, you guys were able to communicate with one another and regroup. And upon regrouping, you made your way to the supply cache where there was an old school throwdown, and you successfully defeated Dogan the Minotaur and, quite unfortunately, had to kill Zoltor, Tone's would-be boyfriend.
I think we helped him dodge a bullet on that one.
Yeah.
You did. Way to be a bro.
Oh, I thought you meant Zoltor.
Hey.
He thought he was going to get to sleep at night with his new husband, and all that would have happened is Tone would have talked and talked.
Yeah.
Listen, relationships are all about communication. They're not so much about the physical elements. I feel like when you do, you're breathing an empty shell of a relationship that will soon, nothing will grow from that seed. You salt that field as soon as you turn off those lines.
Your brain is unbelievable to me. I feel like I could say anything and you could twist it. It's amazing.
He's a wise man. He speaks with much wisdom himself. And so after defeating Dogan the Minotaur and Zoltur the Hobgoblin Monk, you guys discovered a new ally there, Ugat, the Goblin Alchemist, Ryeth's little buddy.
My boy.
My boy.
Who now has attached himself to Thinnea, his new mom. He's very excited. He's never had a mom before. And while you guys were deciding exactly how you wanted to proceed and what you were going to do, the Viking woman Gita appeared, and you guys had been looking for the Druids, and she told you, like, hey, I found the Druids, like, let's talk. And so you made your way away from this supply cache. You wandered through the wilderness for a time until you found a small cave, really little more than a shallow depression in a hillside, that you guys were able to get some shelter from the sky and a little bit of cover from the ever-peering eyes of these wyverns and the fen ravens that Chimerion has ever watchful for you while you guys bob and weave through his gambit. And that is where we left off. It is the five of you, along with the Cleric of the Wind, Sarah, the Alchemist Goblin Ugat, and the kind of cryptic Viking warrior Gita. And so you eight have hunkered down in a small cave in the wilderness, in the ruins of Skaden, amidst Chimerion's gambit. And you gathered a couple of potions and some brooches and whatnot, and hunkered yourself down, preparing to take a long rest, spend the night, and discuss what will come next. And so here we are.
So I want to pull Thinnea off to this. Like, okay, so how big is the cave that we're in?
The cave is really, it's very small. It only goes about 10 feet into the hillside, if that, and it's only a couple of feet high in the back of it, right? So like all of you could cram into it if you needed. The mouth entrance is about 8 or 10 feet wide as well, but like a 10 by 10 cave.
So we're mostly huddled. We're not like are some of us outside? Is that how?
Yeah, I imagine you guys kind of sitting with your backs against the slope of the hill and the stones that are tumbled around you. Some of you may be sitting on fallen tree trunks or with your backs against the trunks of the trees growing up in the forest around you. But yes, I would imagine you sitting at the mouth of the cave. Ugat has started to gather kindling to make a small fire because he seems quite concerned with his alchemy and beginning to cook some potions.
Hey, Ryeth, do you need anything to cook us dinner tonight?
Yeah, I can go forward something, perhaps.
Sure. I'll join you.
All right, cool. Let's go for a quiet
We'll
walk
stay
in the
close,
woods.
everyone. Don't worry.
Yeah.
We'll be okay.
Oh God, last time
As
this
you guys
happened,
are
someone
walking
disappeared.
The goblin turns. That is true, by the way. But as you guys are walking off together away from the mouth of the cave, the goblin turns from the pile of kindling and wood that he's putting together. You bring back wood, smart guy. Need lots of wood. Long fire. Many potions.
Okay, you guys, sounds good. Thanks for taking care of potions again, buddy.
Does he still look like a little boy?
Yeah, he does. It's not quite been an hour
Because he, for
yet
some
since
reason,
walked.
thinks that we do not see past the ruse.
I don't think Thinnea has seen him without it, has she? Oh, I guess in the main area, she might have seen him from
the very
far away.
beginning. But yeah, in the midst of that battle, he had cast it on himself while he was behind a wall, right? So the first time you laid eyes on him, he had this disguise of himself as a small child. But so sure, Poe and Ryeth walk out from the front of the cliff or a cave, and you guys begin to make your way out to the woods.
As we're walking, I want to walk over to Ryeth and cast guidance for his for potentially helping him out with his foraging.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
And yeah, as we're kind of walking, I just want to be so. Dude, you keep telling everyone all the secrets I've been telling you lately. What's up with that? Do you not like me?
No, I didn't mean to give you that impression at all. I'm just trying to be open and honest with everyone. That's what Valerian told me. That's it's the Storm Sorcerer Godline. we can't really lie about stuff.
They're watching us at all times, and I was trying to give you, secrets that I wasn't saying out loud so that Vergen and the game masters didn't know we had secret plans. I feel like a lot of danger's on us now that stuff's been revealed, dude.
I'm sorry. I didn't really think about that, to be honest. I thought it'd be better for the group if people knew. I guess I can just work on keeping secrets to myself from now on.
I feel like you and I should be really good friends. I feel like we have a lot in common, and like we're kind of the kids of this group, and I just want to make sure we're not, spilling secrets out into the world that we don't want heard.
All right, you're heard loud and clear. I just got a lot going on right now, man. I got thrown into this whole thing, and then I met Sarah. Then I think she's my mom. And
wait, your mom?
Yeah, there was just this really serious moment when we were all running to save Thinnea, and she pulled me aside. She said, "Don't you know who I am?" And I thought that's what that means.
She could, maybe she's like a celebrity or something.
That would be, maybe she belongs to the theater troupe that Tone and Thinnea are a part of.
Yeah, exactly. She was probably just big timing you, dude.
Yeah.
That happens out here in the Citadels.
I'm learning so much about people on this adventure so far.
Me too, friend.
Oh, okay. Friend, yeah. All right. Do we hug or something? Is that what we do? Or
bring it in, buddy. So what are we looking for?
Well, let's see. What type of environment are we in? I guess it's like a forest.
Yeah, it's sort of like a temperate forest, right? It's the ruins of a city. There are all kinds of like broken buildings in various places, and I don't mean like a very densely populated city as we would perceive one in the modern day. These are kind of like from thousands of years ago, fallen buildings that have long since been retaken by the undergrowth. But yeah, it's a temperate forest. You're dealing with all kinds of conifers, deciduous trees. There's mushrooms. I
was about to ask. I was going to say one of my things that I missed from the Storm Sorcerer Enclave. We used to make these mushroom skewers. They're just absolutely delicious. Maybe we could find like some sap from a tree to baste on them, and yeah, mushrooms sound good.
Any mushroom? Like, there's lots of mushrooms out here.
I
have a pretty good knowledge of mushrooms. Let's make a check and see what I can find.
Let's see how good this knowledge is. Chimerion's job may get a lot easier. 19. So nature. I was going to say make a survival check, but okay, nature check is cool. This is cool. So you know like what mushrooms you're looking for. You have an idea, but go ahead and roll the survival check anyway.
Oh.
Oof.
Here's the thing, because like you rolled so well on your nature check, you know what you're looking for. You just can't find it, right? You're realizing that like all these mushrooms you're coming up with are poisonous, more poisonous, far more poisonous. This one might show you a good time, but it also might kill you. And so you're just having a hell of a time, Ryeth. Like all this stuff you're finding, it's almost as though this place itself is cursed and filled with horrible things.
I'm just going to turn to Paul Bick. Man, I think we're going to have to eat your tasteless food tonight. I
don't know if I can give us any tasteless food tonight unless we have some stored somewhere.
Yeah, well, I guess I can try and look around.
And frankly, my food isn't that tasteless. Bread is good. Come on.
I once went on a ship, and there was this thing called hardtack, and it had a little bit more flavor than the other night. So I'm gonna just look around a little longer, do another survival check this time with guidance. Oh God,
Jesus!
Not good.
I can't find anything, man. I'm sorry.
You at one point see a quail, and you're like, "Oh yeah, we could get that quail," and then like it just flutters away. It takes off, like making a hell of a lot of noise while it flies off. Not even close. I mean, you just
How close are we to it when it's about to fly off?
25 feet.
I cast Compelled Duel on the bird.
It's fascinating. So the bird is in fact a creature. So I'm going to allow this. The quail rolls a 2 on its saving throw. It is so compelled. And as such, 25 feet away, the quail spins in the air, pivots impossibly fast for a plump little bird that does not fly particularly well, and begins coming at you like a missile, Poe. It is shooting through the air. Would you like to roll initiative against
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
Sure.
Can we roll initiative?
Okay, let's.
Oh, please do.
So if you guys die by this freaking quail, I swear to
16.
I
God.
hope it happens.
So great. Even if he just damages them, I just want one crit. Poe, 16, Ryeth,
Oh, yeah.
16.
I
You
don't
have
know.
defeated the quail in initiative. What would you like to do?
You can go first, Ryeth.
Lucky day.
I'm crying.
It's coming at us. Well,
It sure is. It's coming actually at Poe.
Yeah, it's
not
coming at
you.
I'm gonna save my my turn for when it gets to Poe, and do an unarmed attack.
You can
Okay.
try to just smash it out
I'm
of
just
there.
gonna smash it.
You
when I
have
look at him.
lightning coming out of your fingertips.
Yeah, but
No, no.
it won't taste good if I hit it with magic, bro.
He wants
I'll-
to handball it.
Okay. So since he's holding his turn, I will. I'll just swing at it with my battle. I'll like grab my battle axe and just kind of like swing wildly and hope that it hits.
Roll.
15 to hit.
Yes. 15 does in fact hit. Roll your damage.
Oh God.
5 points of damage.
5 points of damage. You like woof, swing up with the battle axe, and Ryeth, like you're like holding your attack, getting ready to see if you could swat it down, and you just see like you hear like, and then like an explosion of feathers, of these brown and black feathers.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
they're all like fluttering slowly down to the ground as Edgar's axe, with the faint trace of blood, like hangs low in his hand. And the quail, the 2 pieces of the quail, like kind of scatter to the ground, its guts like spilling and spraying all over the place as it, crashes into like the undergrowth.
Efficient.
Dinner, dudes.
Yeah, we just need about like 15 more of those.
Meanwhile, in the cave, you 3 remain with Gita and Sarah, who are out at like the mouth of the cave, kind of talking quietly to one another in sort of hushed whispers, and Ugat working diligently over his little fire, getting it prepped. What are you guys doing?
I want to see if I can read their lips.
Oh, wow. Isn't this a thing that you can just do?
Yes. If I can see a creature's mouth while it is speaking a language, I can interpret what it's saying by reading its lips.
Excellent. So you like make your way like towards, you're obviously outside the cave and kind of like glancing over towards like the entrance of it, and you're able to like catch their faces as they're speaking to one another. And so very similar to the conversation when you read their lips on first meeting. Gita is saying to Sarah, like, I've placed my trust in you. And then she points out, she's like, with the rest of them, I don't know that I should trust you. And then Sarah responds, like, they've kept me alive for days. They're a strange group, but capable in their own way. And they do seem to desperately want to get out of here alive. I think at the very least, you can trust that much. And so Gita responds saying, I found the Druids without much trouble, but even they don't know where the tree that I seek is. They told me that there's one in this place called the Leech. And this confirms like what you heard, what Gita told you, before you guys came up to this little cave, she said, like, I met with the Druids already. I'm looking for this like enchanted tree that's in this place, and it moves around, and supposedly this person called the Leech knows where it is. And so ultimately that's the conversation that they're having, is Gita telling Sarah that the Druids steer clear of this individual, the Leech, because he's very dangerous, and for whatever reason he's just allowed to reside in this place, but that he has much knowledge of many things inside the ruins of Skaden, but the coming and going of this magical tree that she seeks is apparently one of them. And then the conversation kind of trails into this discussion of like her saying like, will they fight? Like if we go to find the Leech, will they like stand with me? Are you sure? And she's like, they seem to love to fight. Except the elf. The elf wanders off, but when forced to, he's quite competent.
I'll giggle to myself at that. And then I'll relay all of that information to Tone, even though it's not really specifically new information.
Okay.
I feel like there's something to this Gita. I want to get her alone eventually, but for now, I'm gonna approach Ugat.
Okay, he's working over his little like campfire, and now he's gotten out like a couple of vials and set them down next to him that are empty. And as you come walking over, he turns, and he's still wearing this illusion as a little human boy with this sort of shaggy brown hair, and he's just like, dinner no ready.
No. You have 2 ready and able hands here to assist. We all know the phrase "many hands make light work," and I may be inexperienced, but I'm ready and prepared to work. You don't need to slave away on your own. You know, I'm here to assist in any way possible. Tell me what you need to get. Say jump. I can actually jump pretty far. I have a nice technique for that, actually.
He says, "Yeah, I don't need you jump. Who got no like jumping elves? What kind of elf you anyway? You work for boy."
I pretty much, I like to consider myself a jack of all trades. Look, I can forage. I know these woods like the back of my beautifully manicured hands. I can fight if you need me to. I've heard there's some quail around. I don't know how endangered they may be, but look, I'm here to help. If I may be honest with you, the techniques of alchemy have always astounded me. And look, I have traveled far and wide, and the ability to turn one thing into another is frankly almost godlike. And I would love to learn from you or even see your process. You might be one of the most masterful people I have met, if we're being quite honest, young man.
Oh, wow. He's just like, his eyes like a little wide as he's listening, and you kind of got his attention as he's doing this. He stops like fiddling with his fire, and about halfway through, he just locks eyes with you, and he's like nodding, like, yeah. And then you mention godlike, and he's just like, yeah. And he says, well, I tell you, take long time learn these tricks. I very smart guy. You probably not as so smart as me. Very smart, very smart. Learn so many things. But,
no, I'm very stupid. 2 + 2 is 6.
Yes, that right. But you still stupid. So like he takes some more shit out of his packet. He says, "Here, you take these. Mash up in hands."
Of course. Happy to do so.
He says, "No drop juice. Save juice. Mash up in hands." And then he has like a small kind of like you see it's like looks like a piece of like a shell to something, and you realize then it's like a scale. Looks maybe like it's one of the wyvern scales that he must have found since he got in here. And he takes it out and begins like pouring some like other like plant leaves in there that he starts grinding up with this rock, and he places it out in between you, like, squeeze juice on that.
I will do as told.
Good. And he's like mashing it all up with this rock, and then like he begins to like gather it all together, and he lifts it up, and it's like this big like muddy kind of like soup in his hands, and the berries that you've broken up, this red kind of juice dripping down through his fingers, and then he just like puts his mouth down into it and begins like a pig, kind of like really snorting and snurfling it up. And you see him like licking his fingers, and there's like gross paste all over his little illusion mouth, and it's dripping off of his nose. At one point, you see like a bubble of liquid as he's breathing, and he's just like, "That real tasty." Okay, now light fire, he says to you. Like, I take nap. And he leans back against the wall. Like, you good, elf. Work real good. Make nice dinner.
You got it. So as he's asleep, I'm going to take a look at a couple of the other things that he has set up, just to see if anything looks interesting.
Yeah, sure. Of like the other things there, you see that like there's one like particular pouch that's like not that big, right? It looks like it could hang on like a belt pouch that's like still tied up, cinched tight. It's a leather bag. And then he's got a couple of like empty flasks that he put down next to it. This big like piece of scale and his rock. And then he's got like another small pack that's sitting next to him, like leaning up against the wall. And so his eyes are kind of like half closed as he's like lazily leaning back against this wall. And you're like scoping this stuff out that you see.
Cool. I'll start tending to starting a fire until he is fully asleep, and then we play.
Okay. That's good. Shell, what are you up to in the midst of all of this?
Just kind of watching this whole scenario playing out in front of me, shaking my head, like just like he's not going to teach him anything.
Okay, so
Tone might get played here.
You're able to like spark up a fire. There's no need for a roll. After like a time, it takes a little while, but the fire like begins to catch and pop, and you start working the sticks over, and it's been like quite a little while. Is there anything else particularly that Thinnea or like you shall want to do?
I mean,
no pressure.
Our hunters haven't come back in a while.
Uh-oh.
Are you going to say that out loud?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can't. Our hunters haven't come back in a while.
And with that, I will sit down and start to get comfortable.
Well, turnabout.
Yeah, they'll probably be okay.
I'll be examining my nails. It's much more important than helping out my friends.
Okay. And so Tom, like once you've got the fire going, it's been maybe like, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes, but you hear like from over by the wall, a little like little goblin snoring. And as like you glance over, you see like you catch him just at the moment as the illusion is fading, and you see his little green bulbous nose and his long pointed ears as like he sits resting up against the wall, dozing off after his deal of pace.
I'm gonna whisper to Thinnea, and I'm gonna say, "Hey, your son's quite a looker, isn't he?" And I'll gesture over to him. So let's go back to this pouch for a second. So
before you do that, I'm gonna throw open my mouth a little bit.
So I'll walk over to the pouch and I'll jimmy it open and take a look at what's inside.
Sure. Just roll a stealth check just to see like the ladies are still out by the front.
Mm-hmm.
I'll what is it? Master of Tactics? Is that what it is? Nope. Yes, I'll be helping him with Master of Tactics. Which hopefully helps a little.
Okay, so you get the pouch up like surreptitiously, right? And you've got it kind of concealed in your hands, and you start untying it. I'm sorry, Master of Tactics, Taryn. I don't mean to be jumping over you. What?
Yes, to help him.
What does that do?
I can use the help action as a bonus. I guess I can lend my aid to another creature in the completion of a task. You get advantage on your ability check. So
thank God.
So how do you help him? Okay, I've actually got it. I will tell you how you help him in this instance. So you like glance over and you see Tone like snatch up this bag, and you notice that like the women like Gita and Sarah talking by the front, they have not noticed this yet, right? And Tone, as you like carefully untie the drawstrings of the bag, all of a sudden like it just tumbles open, and this like glass ball kind of like rolls out of it and hits the ground with like a loud kind of crack, and you see it falling, Thinnea, and realize it's going to make like a loud sound, and so you're able to like fake a sneeze or whatever it is, or like crack a branch of like firewood at this moment to kind of like conceal, and so you realize, Tom, like no chance would they have not noticed that except for Thinnea's help. You hear this sound from outside the cave as you see this like orb hit the ground, crack, and yeah, the ladies like glance back, but you're able to cover it up pretty quick and snatch the thing back up. But as you look through the rest of this pouch, you see that there's a number of strange things in here. There's a couple of very strange looking roots that you've never seen before, but you can tell they're roots to a plant, and some other like leaves that look like come from like an altogether different plant, and a chunk of moss. And then there's this glass ball that fell, which is maybe like a little smaller than a pool ball, let's say. And it looks like clear glass. And what else is in there? Oh, and a small book. It's very small. It's got like black leather binding, and it looks like maybe it's only like, I don't know, 25 or 30 pages. Almost like a children's primer or something like that. Like the cover to it is really not very big at all.
I'll see if I can leaf through the book quickly, or if not, I'm just gonna pocket it.
You can leaf through it, like you crack it open and begin to slip through it, and like none of it makes any sense to you. Do you speak Draconic?
No.
Okay, yeah, so you don't even like recognize the alphabet of the language that it's written in, right? You're like looking at these letters like, yeah, okay, no clue what that is. But you can pocket it, sure.
Yeah, because I can, if anything, I can sell it. I'm sure it'll fetch a nice price outside of the game.
Yeah, I bet. Okay, and the rest of the stuff, what do you want to do with that?
I'm looking at that orb. Do I want that orb? That orb is looking real tempting. I'm gonna look back at Thinnea as I reach for the orb. Like, should I be doing this? Because I acknowledge the fact that she covered for me.
I'm still shaking my head in the corner.
He's watching.
Damn it.
I'm gonna shrug in a way that says, like, hey, if you want to, I'm all for it. Like, I'll keep protecting you. As much communication as I can do through a shrug.
My master is giving me the thumbs up, so I'm going to pocket it.
Okay, and so you leave all like the herbs and the plant material and stuff in the bag and just like drop it back in the ground. Okay.
Yep.
And then once he's done with that and kind of away from the scene of the crime, I'll ask him what he found.
Okay, do you
no idea, but it's going to get us a shit ton of money.
And I'm just going to look at him like, aw, you could have just asked me for some money if you needed some.
This is much more fun. Come on, you're a rogue, you know this. Slipping into things, grabbing weird shit, pocketing
That's why I supported your endeavor.
life.
I supported it.
Slipping into things and grabbing weird shit. That's the hashtag right there. So as you guys are like talking, like Sarah and Gita kind of like separate, and Gita like walks over to you, Shell, as you're like sitting in the cave or whatever. Sarah kind of like sits down and like folds her legs underneath her, and you see her close her eyes and begin perhaps some kind of like meditation or whatever. But Gita, this Viking type woman with this big round shield and the worn longsword or armor, she comes like walking over to you, and the metal of like the armor clattering and the sword slapping against her leg as she walks, and she's standing over you, like looking down as you sit there on the ground, like, we should talk.
Okay.
Much, do you?
You know, again, with the age, it gets hard to talk when you get I only say what needs to be said. You know, I got all these young people. They run around. They do a lot of talking. I say what needs to be said. I keep people in line around here.
She said, I hoped that you would say as much. That is why I come to you, old one. You're a veteran. You have seen many battles, yes?
Oh yeah, I've seen some.
And it looks like it, too.
It feels like it too, let me tell you.
I'm definitely reading their lips for this whole thing.
You can keep the reins on these others of yours.
I mean, I do an okay job, but it's kind of a group effort thing. It's like a council of voting. But my vote counts for 2.
Frowns a little bit, and then you say that. You see the smile, like, touch the corners of her mouth, and she kind of nods. Like, she says, Sarah says you are from the Onyx Dynasty. You were prisoner of my Listrix.
Maybe. What of it?
She says, I know another of mine when I see it. You took an oath. I've seen you fight. You are like me. You are sworn to a higher lord. No?
Yeah, you could say that. If that's what you wanted to say. If that's how you want to say it.
What do you want to say of it?
I mean, I was forced into an oath, but I've since taken measures away from that, but in a better way. Well, I guess it's not away from it, but it's just in a better way. For myself. And the others around.
You chose a better way for yourself.
Yeah. We all have choice.
She like
despite
nods.
what people say.
She nods. We do. We have many choices. And now we will choose to spend this night together in this place. And tomorrow, I must choose whether you come with me or not. She says, your friends seek the Druids. Seek freedom.
I mean, isn't that what we're all here for? Freedom? We don't want to be here.
I am not here for freedom, Tortle. I am here for my oath. She says, my lord has sent me to retrieve someone precious to him, and I will do so, or I will die in this place. For that is the choice I make. She says, so now I must choose to help you or not. If you wish to find the Druids, I can do this. And I need help as well. So I come to you, the old one, the scarred shell, who has taken an oath like mine, who has chose to do better than what he would have him do. And I ask, can you keep them in line if I take them with us tomorrow? Will they jeopardize my promise to my lord?
If you provide them a face and say don't kill, they probably won't kill it.
Ah, but the one we go to see has a face that begs to be killed, from what I understand. She says,
you want this man dead or not?
I want what he has, and what you do afterwards is up to you. But I want his knowledge.
Okay, well, if you tell them not to kill it, they won't kill it.
Will
Probably.
you tell them?
Yeah, I'll tell them. I just need to know what it looks like.
Oh, he is wretched. They tell me he has one leg rotting, still attached to him, surrounded in flies, that his face is as though it is melted by the acid of your black dragon. He is a terrible, hideous fiend, kept alive by unholy necromancies. Is that good enough?
Yeah, I mean, that'll work. That's a pretty good description, yeah.
You're right, I want to kill this person so bad.
I know, right? Like,
Put him out of his misery.
She says, I come to you, veteran, old man, because I think you deserve my respect. Perhaps. You have lived far longer than I thought you would when I saw you that day. I thought you may lay over and die right there in that meeting arena.
well, I mean, I did all right for myself.
You did?
But, people help. It's all about the helping.
Maybe. We will see tomorrow. She says, just remember what I say. I look to you to make sure they do not jeopardize what I seek.
I mean, we should do all right. They're not that reckless. I mean, they're pretty reckless, but
We shall see. And she like shrugs and like walks over towards like the fire and begins like messing with it, putting some logs and stuff onto it. Okay, Poe and Ryeth, you guys are like making your way back with your dismembered quail.
Yeah, with our one quail cut in half with a battle axe.
Yum yum.
You come walking up with this like battered, bruised man, like just mauled quail in two pieces, and you see Thinnea and Tone outside in front of the cave, and Sarah like kind of sitting Indian style at the cave mouth with her eyes closed, and her hair kind of like moving and dancing and like snapping in this wind that you realize like isn't there. It's a particular still day. The tree branches like sit still, the leaves are quiet, you hear the ever present cawing of the crows overhead and in the trees around you, but Sarah sits surrounded by wind despite the stillness of the area. And so you come walking up, and Thinnea and Tone are standing outside the cave, or sitting, or whatever.
I have my head kind of down.
Dudes, we got food. A little.
What got to it before you guys did?
There's nothing out there, man. I'm gonna be honest. I mean,
What do you mean there's nothing out there? You guys should have seen me. I like cast a spell on this bird, and then it came at me, and then Ryeth didn't do anything, so I took out my axe and I sliced its head off, and then look, we've got dinner.
I'm gonna be honest. It was awesome. I mean, it was really, really cool.
The slow clap from the corner.
Do my best to cook this for us, guys.
I'm going to reach into my bag and pull out like a giant loaf of bread and some cheese and stuff that I've got. Not even close to like what I actually have, but like enough that everyone can get a little bit of food.
Mm-hmm. I'll go over to the fire and just start picking apart the dove. Maybe I can get some meat off the breasts. Maybe probably not.
I'll start putting cheese on my like bread and then put it over the fire. Like I'm like holding it.
Like a grilled cheese.
Yes, I'm not that cheese, yo.
There you go. So you guys begin cooking, and as you come in, you can see Gita is like beefed up the fire a little bit. And she like glances over and like nods at you guys as you come in, and you could see she's got like this strip of meat that you recognize as like boar meat. Like she had her run-ins with these things as well, though it's already cooked and salted. You notice, right? She's not like cooking anything on this fire. She's just kind of like sitting near it, one eye on the goblin sleeping in the corner, all his stuff sprawled out everywhere. You see this pouch laying like open by the other stuff over by the fire or whatever. And as you guys begin like cooking the food and the meat starts like sizzling on this tiny quail, what's left of it is tiny little drumstick, yeah, like. And Al is like heating up his bread. Uga kind of like stirs in the corner like, huh? What that smell? That smell good. You bring Uga bird?
Well, Uga, we got a bird, and Poe's gonna get his first choice of meat because he's the one that killed it.
I'm good. I'm good. Uga can have my share.
You heard what he said, give bird.
Hey man, I don't know if we need Mom to discipline you, but
Mom like me better.
Yeah, you're gonna have to learn to live with your brothers and sisters in cooperation, buddy.
Right, to realize that he's no longer a boy, right? He's still.
Yeah. He's definitely.
I was never a boy to begin with.
I think we all did, except for Thinnea.
Thanks for the heads up, guys.
I'm gonna have a piece for you in just a moment, buddy. Just sit there and keep sleeping for now.
And you much less smart than I thought, he says. And then like he goes over and he begins like messing with like his stuff over by the fire, and he takes his scale and like kind of sets it over the heat. Like, you build good fire, Elf. Good work.
Of course, thank you. It was tough work, but you know, these years out in the wilds of Abrea have really given me a sense of purpose. You know.
Well, God can see that. It's very admirable. I make real strong poison on this fire. Yeah, like, he starts with the shell, like throwing some of like the moss that you found on there, and then he's like pops like some water and begins pouring it, and it starts like hissing and cooking off, and like he starts like mucking around in this like weird process with the shell, and doesn't seem to like take much note of the fact that like the glass wall and the book are gone yet.
Well, poison. Hopefully, you're planning to use that on our enemies, right? I mean, that's some pretty powerful stuff, man.
We see. He's kind of like ominously as he's focusing on his work. Yep. So he sits there and begins like cooking, and after a time, like you guys cook up your quail, and it's really like a pitiful amount of meat. I don't know if you guys have ever cooked a quail, but they're very.
I have. Yeah, that's what I was saying, man. It's like a full quail. You can pretty much get like couple bites out of it.
We lost about like 20% of this one to battle axe, and so like as you guys are going, Gita's like sitting quietly over by the mouth of the cave, and Sarah after a time like finishes what she's doing and is like she comes into the cave like she says Gita has agreed to have tomorrow. She says we'll help her and she'll bring us to the Druids, right? And Gita like turns and just kind of like nods quietly, like eyeing all of you. And then Gita says like, if you have questions, ask them now. I would get some rest first.
Wait, you'll get some rest first and then we can ask questions, or we should ask you questions now and then
ask questions
now before I sleep.
Okay. Hey, Tone here. Who's the leech? What's the leech? I've just heard the words "the leech," so I don't exactly know what we should be looking out for here.
He was a man who came into this place once many years ago and has never left. He has lackeys, minions, others like him, who come here and too scared to fight, but too clever to die. I know only stories of him. He is rotting while he yet lives. Evil magic keeps him from aging. For many years, he has laired in this place, beneath the ground in his cell, by the vast bridge. He keeps himself apprised of the comings and goings of many creatures in Skaden, and he has information that I need to find that which I seek here.
That is such a better description than you gave me. What the hell?
That's what he looked like, old man. He looks like the rotting dead with a melted face and a leg filled with flies and maggots. Does that help? She looks back at you, Tom.
Yep, that's a great description. You should go into literature.
Hey, Ryeth here. First time caller, long time listener. So then, what does he seek here?
Me?
Yeah, you said you need information for him to get the thing that you seek. So what's it you're seeking?
A tree. A very special tree.
Hold on. We may or may not be seeking a tree as well for reasons that I am not allowed to talk about.
She like frowns. She just like it's this bitter look of like lemon in her mouth, like and she turns and looks at Sarah and then like looks back at you slowly like, yes, well, that is all well and good, she says to you, What I know is that the Druids can get you from this place. You seek freedom, do you not?
That's all I care about.
I seek freedom and to help my potential mother.
Who's your mother?
Look at Thinnea.
No, Thinea's not my mother.
That one, my mom.
Yeah, she's already claimed. This whole concept of a mom is new to me, so I'm playing it by ear. Sarah, aren't you? Didn't you say you were my mom earlier?
What are you talking about? She says, she's like, what? She says, how old are you?
I'm 18.
How old do you think I am?
No, 19, 20.
By the wind, Thunderbuck, by the wind. She said, I am Air Genasi. I meant I am an Air Genasi. My mother is a high queen regent of the Djinn in the plane of wind. She says, idiot.
Well, I couldn't have noticed you didn't say a number there, so.
My grandma's a wind genie?
I knew you were gonna go there.
She's just like, she straight face palms, like just shaking her head, very reminiscent of Shell. Like, I don't know who your grandmother is, Thunderbuck. She's like, all I know is that I have heard of your master, Valerian. I've seen him from afar at the conclaves, and I have heard your name before. She says, and I thought that you would see me and recognize that I am an obvious ally to you. That is what I meant. I am not your mother. My mother is not your grandmother. My father has nothing to do with you.
Poe here.
Why do they keep saying their names?
We just met you. We need to remind you of who we are.
Dudes, who's Valerian?
Oh, you haven't heard me talk about Valerian?
I mean, I've heard it, but now that people are talking about it so much, I figured I'd, be on the inside of the joke, if you will.
Yeah, no, it's not really a joke. Valerian's he's my master. He's like the highest level storm sorcerer that exists. He's such a high level. He wears armor. It's crazy, dude. Yeah.
Knuckles, as he's like talking about all this, she just laughs a little bit.
Taught me everything I know. He's been my only family since I was taken from my original family at an unknown age, and he's pretty much just like an all-around good guy, notable person. Terrible, terrible, terrible temper. Let me tell you, it's a little extreme. Him and his friends, But yeah, he's really, really great storm sorcerer, really good guy. Maybe one day I could take you to meet him. I don't know where he's been recently, ever since he ditched me. Yeah.
Wait, he ditched you? What? Says Sarah.
Yeah, we were out on like the usual training courses, and then he just disappeared along with all the other storm sorcerers that were in the camp with me, and I just thought it was them like playing tag. And
her eyes close for a minute, and she like reaches up like, oh, I understand. Okay.
Yeah, I'll find him at the conclave. Obviously, I mean that's coming up soonish, right?
Yeah.
When he wants to get out of here, and
yes.
I'll see good old Valerian again. Give him a big hug. He doesn't like hugs, though. He's not a big fan.
I've heard the same.
He gives you a little shock when you give him a hug. It's crazy. Yeah, that's Valerian, stand-up guy.
And so Gita just kind of like, well, that is all well and good, and I am glad that you are not related, I suppose. She like says, looking between the two of you. She says, but I must find this tree. The leech knows where it is. It moves. It is not like this. She like points out the cave door at one of the other trees. It is a thing of magic. It has a mind of its own, and words can speak. It has seen much more than all of our lifetimes together. It has lived in this place. but it has been trapped here for too long. And so I will find it and free it. And that job begins in the Leech's cave. She says, and so if you will help me, I can take you to the Druids afterwards. But you must not kill this one until I have what I need from him. If you can
we
help
come
me
up with the code word for when we can kill him?
How about I say, you can kill him now?
That's a good code word. I like it.
Sure, sure.
She just like gained like 10 points in my book.
My people are very direct, she says.
I'm happy with that.
Well, I mean, if we're going down into these caves where the leech resides, is there anything we can prepare for in terms of that? I mean, we've heard of these caves, but we've never been down in them before. We don't exactly know what's in them.
She says he, from my understanding, has one lieutenant that is spoken of called the Masked One. It is some kind of wizard or spell slinger. Wears a mask, obviously.
I've been makes sense.
I thought maybe he just looked like a raccoon, maybe.
That would be funny, but probably not very menacing. She's like, he also has minions, lackeys, brutes, grunts, others like him, cowards, who hide here rather than seek out a noble death or fight their way free. Other than that, I cannot tell you much.
Okay.
The Druids know of him, but they steer wide. Their goals here do not involve him.
As long as we can figure out a way out of here, I'm down for whatever needs to happen.
There are many ways out, but the Druids know one, to be sure. Keep me alive. Get me what I need. I will ensure that you are freed, Turtle.
I like the Druids. My master, who trained me, it was a Druid. So hopefully these guys will help me as much as he has in my life.
She shrugs. She says, well, if any of you have any other questions, she says, I am weary.
Me too.
We should establish who will take guards. I will sleep first. I do not need much of it.
I'll take the first shift.
Very good.
I'll hang out with him. I guess.
Yes,
Okay.
that is a good idea. So she takes her stuff into the cave, kind of curls up in one of the back corners over, kind of, I don't know, not that far from the fire. The cave's not really that big. And pulls her cloak over herself, lays her shield and her sword up against the wall. And turns into it. And so Sarah's kind of standing there with all of you guys, waiting to see if you guys have anything to tell her or whatever or what. She's just standing there with you all.
Hi.
One awkward situation after the next with you.
Exactly. Well, I'm tired, guys. So I'll wake me up for the next shift, and then I'll just kind of get up and I'll put my hand on Thinnea's shoulder on my way to the cave and be like, I never thought I'd have a friend from the Dynasties, but thank you for helping the last couple of days. And then I'll just walk off.
I want to make a Constitution roll to see if I cry or not, because I don't think Thunnea's ever cried in her life.
Oh wow! I mean, it's
and
up to you
she
if it's
feels like
con
she
or if
might.
it's her intellect or whatever. But sure, yeah.
I feel like I should take it with disadvantage, but I'm not. I'll just roll. Oh damn!
6.
So what's it look like? Is it like a? Is it
No,
like
it's
ugly
one of
weeping,
the
or-
like back of the hand. I wasn't crying situations.
Allergies.
Oh, jeez. Oh.
And so Sarah kind of like catches your eye in one of those moments of like, we just made eye contact, but we're both pretending that we didn't kind of things, you know?
Mhm.
And she just says like very quietly that like, obviously you can hear, but she's like, yes, those were very well said words. Very well said. I never thought I would have a friend from the dynasty either. Thank you. And she like turns her back on you like quickly and like walks back over towards like the entrance to the cave and steps out the door, like out of sight pretty fast.
I'm gonna like find a corner and just like go to sleep. Like I can't handle anything else. Maybe I'm gonna have a nap before I go to bed and just like calm my nerves a little bit. And that's it. Because the last friend I had to kill, so
Sure. I'm gonna say Thinnea Hallowwhisper. She could put a knife in your heart without a flinch, but you start calling her your friend and just break her right wide open. And so, okay.
Before I go to sleep, I'm gonna go talk to Shale and just whisper in his ear and just be like, "Hey, watch the elf. I think he has madness."
Has madness.
You saw that shit? You saw what went down? You saw what happened? Don't ignore it.
I forgot to. Sorry, keep
No,
going.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
I forgot to see because I don't think Tone ever like I saw him grab the book and the orb, but we didn't ever like go through if he actually like showed me that stuff or not.
He didn't, and he was taking first watch, right? So like Sarah and Gita both have like gone to sleep. Ugat is cooking. The rest of the guys are like in the cave, like whatever. Like I don't know if you guys want to take a beat and go over that.
Are you going to show me what you got?
Yeah.
I will like turn my back to Ugat and open up the book. And I
Do
do
you
read
speak Draconic?
I do.
Okay. So as you start going through it, you're pretty quickly able to recognize that this is not just like a book. This is like arcane writing, and that you recognize the language as Draconic, but it's like gibberish nonsensical to you. And you realize like pretty quickly, you've seen spell books before, right? You were raised in like high finery. You've been around lots of people, many like dynasty officials, many of the dynasty wizards and clergymen. And like, yeah, it's a spell book. It's his spell book. It's the goblin's spell book.
It's his spell book.
So I'll tell Tone that.
All right, great. Well, we have people that can cast spells here. Sure, they can use it.
And then I'll just nod my head and that's it. I'll go to sleep.
There you go. Okay.
Oh.
So you guys are
As I'm going to sleep, I kind of whisper under my breath, I give you, Phobos, my deeds for today. I've survived one more day in the Gambits. I have slayed a quail in your name, Phobos. Good night. And then I go to sleep.
I want to make your gods laugh at you, but they laugh quite far when they hear your slaying of the quail. Of each like bickering with one another about who actually gets credit for the quail until they realize, no, he cut it into 2 pieces. He serves us both always. Yes, excellent. So yeah, you guys are able to like rotate through your shifts on the night. Tone, you're up first. You give me a perception check.
Oh, fun.
Oh, I was with Tone.
Oh, sure, you can roll one too.
Yeah. Okay. I don't see much, but you know, I'll try.
That is a 24.
Oh, there we go.
And D4 Tone as like you're there for the night, right? The evening like rolls on, the sun dips down low out of the sky, the moon begins to crest the horizon, and you're able to see in the sky at a couple of points. It's really hard to catch them, but like sure enough, you see these black shadows of the wyverns blotting out the stars as they swoop by from time to time. None particularly low or like particularly coming to this area, but you do see at least on 2 separate occasions over the course of the night, these wyverns like like, I don't know, maybe 25 or 30 feet over the tops of the trees. You can kind of like feel the breeze as they coast by over you, persistent, ever watching for you guys to show yourselves, that Chimerion could have his prize in your death or whatever. Other than that, nothing like seems to be closing in on your camp or anything like that. There's nothing like sneaking around in the forests, which seems to surprise you, actually, that it's such an easy night. But yeah, a couple hours, some of the others wake up, you guys can switch off and you can go get your rest from reverie.
Nice. I'll do that.
Indeed.
So yeah, everybody's got your spell memorizations back. You got full hit points back. You got back half your spent hit dice. Just bookkeeping. There were a few items. There were some potions and stuff. Do we need to go over anything you guys got last time?
I also have a gem of brightness, I think.
Mm-hmm. You do.
Okay. That's just like the typical pull it out.
Exactly as written, gem of brightness. It has 13 charges left. Save changes. Here, I will show it to you.
Oh, cool.
Right there. And it can act as the focus for your spellcasting component.
Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. That is my diamond. Sorry. I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about that.
And I'm assuming this flaming potion is just I drink it and I catch on fire for a portion of time?
It's the elixir of flaming fists. Yeah, you drink it, and essentially for 10 rounds, you do an extra 1d6 fire damage with your unarmed attacks. Like your fists and your feet will like.
Okay.
Does a gem of brightness work against magical darkness?
No.
Is there anything with Tone's orb?
I don't know. Did you guys check it out? Does anyone have like Arcana or anything like that?
You have to show it to me.
I'll do an Arcana check just cause. Let's see. Nope, that's a 6.
It's probably magical, Tone. Yeah.
Cool. My assumptions were correct.
Excellent. So you guys make it through the night. The morning comes. Everybody's kind of like still sleeping. Those of you who are sleeping through the second shift or whatever are awoken to a shouting, yelling. Where my book? Where my book, thief? Thief, take my book. Hey. Ryeth, like you feel yourself being like shaken awake as like you hear this yelling and your eyes open and you see like Ugot the goblin like, need your help? Someone steal book? Steal book?
Oh God, what book did they steal, Ugot? What
steal book spells? Steal spell books?
Someone took your spell book?
No easy book to find. I write that whole damn book.
Why would they take your spell book? It's useless to only you. Like what?
That's what I say. These stupid bastards, they burn book in fire.
Can't even sell it.
And he starts then like he runs to the fire like, oh, they burn book in fire. They burn book in fire.
Calm down, Ugot. Calm down. Poe can help us. Poe can locate objects.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, do I overhear this? Do I overhear
Do
this?
I hear this? Do I hear this happen?
He's like screaming at the time. He's woke everybody up in the morning, right? Gita's like, she's outside on watch, like, shut that goblin up. He'll bring every wyvern within miles on top of us, right?
I'm gonna like calm everyone down and look at Tone like, you better fucking figure this out right now.
No. So while she's doing that, I'm gonna say, yeah, I can locate object, and I want to fake it. So I'm gonna like pretend cast the spell, locate object. I'm gonna call up to my gods and say, please help me find Ugot's book, Deimos and Phobos, and use the cantrip light to like illuminate a spot in the distance. And say, it left this plane of existence right there, and point at it.
I'm going to look over to him very questioningly.
Roll a perception check, my friend Poe.
Okay.
I'll help. I'll use my help.
Okay.
I get advantage. This is going to be terrible, guys. I got a negative. Okay.
How do you help?
Throw the drugs.
Five.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how I help.
I
There's
get
no helping
advantage.
him.
Okay. He's like, Ugot's like looking from the light, like back to you, like kind of like suspicious, and then back, like, wait a minute. You steal my book! And he like points at you, Poe, like, this big fakeroo! That no magic plane! I know my spells! That light spell! You steal book! You steal book! And he like grabs and starts like trying to shove his hands up under inside your shell where your legs are.
Can I make a sleight of hand check to drop the book right like at the floor of the cave?
Yes.
Sure, roll.
All right, let's see.
And
I feel
Can
like
I help
I
with this too, or is it too close?
owe Poe something for helping me out on this one. 18.
18. Okay, you're able to like very quietly and like carefully like drop the book over by the front of the cave, and it seems like nobody's noticed you. Actually, what's everybody's passive perceptions?
21.
Very high.
Third
Love it.
one's bad.
Oh, you see it.
20.
Anyone with the passive perception, Thinnea, you see it. You guys both see him do this, but I mean, Ugod sure as shit doesn't. I'll tell you that. So,
I'm gonna
okay.
I'm gonna calm him down. I'm gonna say, listen to mother. Listen to mother. Let's look. Where was the last place you remember it being?
I look right here in hand, then put it in that bag. He points at bag. He says, need book, no book, no spells. They kill
Okay.
goblins, they eat me on steak.
And I have seen Tone drop it at this point, so I'll say, let's look around. Let's look around before we stop having friends.
he really is like inconsolable, man. He's like frantic, just like, oh no, stupid turtle burn book. I don't
What
believe
it
you one
looks like.
second.
Why would I burn your
What does
book?
it look like?
His book looks like the book. It has pages, cover book.
And I'll, at this point, since he's inconsolable, I will point to the book and I'll say, is that your book?
Ooh, take book! Oh, and he like runs over and just like dives on it, like woo, like a hand grenade, you know, like lands on top of the book, and his head is like darting around, and everyone like, anyone else touch book, I bite all your fingers off one by one. He says, like, he's like slowly like digs the book out from underneath him, like opens up a page like nervously, and he's like, ooh, yeah, this is my book right here. Big mistake. Sorry.
It's an honest mistake. It happens all the time. We misplace things, of course. You need to keep a better hand on your bag, my man. You never know what types of people are around these parts.
A good point, Elf. Pretty clever.
Thank you.
I go read book now. He goes like over back by his stuff and starts like thumbing through the pages of the book as he memorizes his spells for the day.
I'm gonna give questioning looks to Poe and to Tone, Sarah, and to Thinnea, and to Shael, and then back around again, and then go off to do my morning rituals where I sacrifice the elements.
And then I'll tell everybody, guys, I think Ryeth took the book.
So is that are you deceiving us? What's...
I saw him
who's,
put the book down, right? I know Tony.
I never saw
Yeah,
the
I think the
book.
only person I'm deceiving are Gita and Sarah. But I'll roll for it.
Sure, you go ahead. Can't
Let's
hurt.
see if I can deceive them.
When it counts.
That is a 15.
Oh yeah, solidly. And so Sarah seems like a little like, huh? And Gita is just like, this is not starting out a great morning. She says, please, everybody, keep your hands on your own property. This is going to be a long day if it keeps up like this, she says. Make yourselves ready. I know the way.
Are there flowers anywhere? Like little, like daisies or anything?
Yeah, there's little like tiny wildflowers. There's actually like lily of the valley out underneath like one of the trees, little tiny like bells kind of. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to pick enough of those, and then I'm going to tie them together in a little bracelet, and I'm going to give it to Poe as a friendship bracelet for his assistance.
Aw. Oh, thank you.
And then he cries a little bit, and we just like...
And okay, so when she gives me the bracelet, I'm actually going to say, I don't know if you noticed, but I have these mood swings because of my gods, and I've been looking for somebody who might be able to center me, and this goes a long way. Thank you.
And I'll just nod at him, and then I'll walk away.
She walks away. Okay, excellent. So yeah, you guys like situate yourselves and it's montage time, right? Everybody's like getting the gear on, you're strapping your stuff back up. Gita like kicks the fire over and like stomps it out, and you kind of like hide your tracks as you guys are all like getting ready to go again. And so she's just like, we have all of ourselves understood, yes? We find the leech, we get the information, we move forward from there.
Sounds about right.
Very good.
Let's do
There's a
this.
frog in my throat.
Very good. Then we go. She says, I am not exactly sure, but the bridge is hard to miss from what I understand. She says, this leech layers beneath one of the builds on our side of the ravine. We find the bridge, we find the leech. And so with that, she begins like stalking off into the woods, and you guys start kind of following her, right? And so you're making your way through the woods for quite a time. Your ears are open, your eyes are open. The canopy kind of grows thicker around you as you go, and you're coming down. You climbed like a bit up a hill yesterday as you made your way away from the supply cache, and she's bringing you down, like downhill now, downhill, heading towards the east. And so as you're getting down in the kind of lowlands, she's bringing you in and out of a couple of streams that you see along the way, and you're splashing, not through anything particularly deep, through shin-deep water, and the cawing and the squawking of the crows are perpetual, and those of you with the keen eyes are able to catch sight of the wyverns and the occasional fen raven flying much lower in the canopy of the trees, and your group will still every half hour or so and kind of duck and get down under the trees and try to keep yourself out of line of sight of these beasts in the air that are hunting you perpetually during your time here in Chimerion's Gambit. And as she leads you along further and further, making your way through this thickening kind of forest, it gets darker despite the fact that the day is waning on, because the trees are beginning to blot out the light from above. And as you're kind of following this particular riverbed, this stream splashing along, she says to you, have you had cause to fight any of the wyverns yet?
Define cause.
Yeah, did we have a reason or did we do it?
Cause of fighting a wyvern is generally when they land atop you and try to eat you or your friends.
Yes.
Yeah, yes. That
Correct.
Sort of.
The poisons. The poison is the dangerous part. Must be careful of the stinger if we are attacked again. I do not need to bury any of you before our work is done. Careful always of the tails, she says. As though like now the point is made, she just kind of turns and continues pressing onwards, ever forward. And so, yeah, you're making your way, like kind of like splashing through this stream, this area, this kind of like ravine, right? And she says, here on the other side of this, the ground will pull up. She says, I believe the bridge is close. I'm not sure if we are oriented correctly, but we will find it soon. Is everybody ready?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Poe here.
As ready as we'll ever be.
Yep.
She says to you, I've got it now, Poe. And so with that, I will drop us on the map.
Yeah.
That means battle is coming soon.
Okay,
Ooh.
characters. 1, 2 characters, 3 characters, 3.
Ooh. Oh.
Okay, the 8 of you. You guys are rolling deep, man.
Where
This
did you
is-
put them on the map?
Quite a squad. Right down here in the bottom. Oh, wait, you guys are on the incorrect layer.
There it is.
Yeah.
Cool.
We are rolling deep.
Perfect. We're ready for this shit.
Massive squad incoming. Okay. So you guys are like moving and you're going to have to break out of the tree line, right? You're in this kind of like dense canopy down to the south of here. You're not quite at this space yet, in other words. And so she says to you, like, we need to move quick from here to the bridge. She says, we will be out in the open. I cannot promise that we will be able to remain concealed. And so you guys are able to see, like, from the tree line, these 2 sort of stone towers, a few hundred yards away across like the thinning trees that spread in this field, and you could see like kind of like a worn path leading to this archaic sort of towers just jutting up on the horizon, right? And she's like, just try to stay together while we move. I have no means to conceal us, so if any of you do, this will be the time. Are you all ready?
I'm gonna cast Mage Armor.
Excellent.
I am going to cast on Thinnea Resistance.
What's that?
You get an extra D4 added to a saving throw of your choice while I'm maintaining concentration.
For up to 1 minute.
For up to a
Okay.
minute.
And I am going to summon my flail. Oh,
Excellent.
yes.
And I am.
Give us a rousing speech tone.
Yeah, exactly. I'll say, we make for the trees.
We're
I'll
going for the
prepare
bridge.
my
We're actually in
short
the
bow.
trees.
Yeah, bridge, not trees.
And so she
Whatever.
she says there's like Ryeth has a small piece of like cured leather whispering his arcane words, and Shael just like extends his hand and this sort of like watery liquid scaled flail appears, and Poe prays to Deimos and Phobos and grants Thinnea this resistance. You feel his divine magic kind of like wash over you, protecting you momentarily and shrouding you in the protection of his gods. And so like Gita nods as all this is done. It is like, let us go. And with that, she begins to like break out and starts like jogging, moving at like a soft kind of jog across this field. And the rest of you guys, I presume, follow her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And while
Okay.
we're jogging, I want to
Yes.
call up to my gods and say, protect me, Thinnea and Ryeth from, and I cast aid at second level. So the three of us get 5 extra temporary hit points.
Okay,
Thank
cool.
you. This friendship bracelet is really working out for me.
Paying off, isn't it? Paying off. And so you guys begin to like to bolt from the edge of the tree line down this path, and you can see these 2 towers in the distance growing closer and growing closer. And just as you get here to where, you know, you're, I don't know, just over 100 feet away from them, you hear the shriek in the sky, and some of you look up, glancing, and sure enough, here they are. They've been trailing you all this time. They've been this perpetual shadow, these eyes constantly watching you from above, but you've yet to really have to cross paths with them, and you feel like that trend might not be able to sustain itself much longer as you glance into the sky and see these lesser dragons, these wyverns with their 30-foot wingspan and their kind of blackish red scales, and you can see their enormously long tails tipped in this big hooked barb at the end that Gita spoke of the deadly poison therein, and they've caught sight of you all.
How far away are they?
Above.
How high are they?
So, there's one in front of you that is about 50 feet up in the air, right there on the road.
Cool.
And there's another one behind you, which is, it's higher. It's about 60 feet up in the air, but it's closer to where you guys are, cutting in from the left. And so as you guys catch sight of the two of them, one sort of coming at you straight, as though it had just flown over this chasm in front of you and is flying straight down the road. The other one coming from right to left from the east over here underneath. They catch sight of you just as you do them. And with that, we shall roll initiative.
Oh boy.
Click on your tokens.
Yes,
Oh.
click on.
Oh, yeah. Good
I don't-
call.
Oh, right.
Come on.
I am so fast.
I am not.
I'm faster than that one dragon, though.
I critically failed my initiative. Fuck.
Excellent. My
Well, it doesn't matter.
favorite.
They go first.
Get it out of the
Bro.
way now.
Look at me. I got a 1.
Oh, it's gonna be hard.
For real,
detect
get it out of the way now, dude. Geez, so many NPCs.
Yeah.
Bo,
They're all bad.
what's your dex, Bo?
My dex is
Is that everybody? You guys are all in there, right?
yes.
Wow, the NPCs are like really ready to go, huh?
My dex is
Yeah,
15
seriously.
too.
15?
Yeah.
Apparently
So
they are.
yours is higher than mine.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, so
Okay,
I would go
so-
first.
yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay, cool. Great.
In
So check
theory.
it out. It's 9:00 right now. How about we take our break a little early right now, and I'll take my dog out before we get into this grueling knockdown combat, and then we'll come back and we'll pick right up. Is that cool?
Oh
Sounds
yeah.
good.
I think that makes sense.
Excellent. Perfect.
Okay, Alan, Mike, hang with me. And
I will
Taryn
be
and Alex, do your
Right
thing.
back, my friends.
I'll be back.
So, Alan, how's the streaming going? So, for everyone that doesn't know, Alan is our resident Twitch streamer, gamer, and he streams at Captain Emo, right?
Yeah.
How's that going? What have you been up to in the last couple weeks?
It goes mostly PUBG. Done a little bit of Fortnite, some Pokken tournament.
How's Pokken Tournament?
It's pretty fun. This one, the one for the Switch, is just a port from the Wii U one, but it's still good. So I have a lot of fun. It's like a cross between like Tekken and Street Fighter. So
Yeah, I bought it for the Switch, but I haven't played it much because I just play Zelda all the time.
Decidueye,
Yeah.
it's my favorite, strongest book.
Yeah. What do you have any what do you have anything in the pipe?
Nothing really, other than the in between stream that we'll be doing.
So for everyone out there, Alan and Alex and so Rich is going to be DMing a game that is basically a prequel to all this, where we see Valerian, who Ryeth's like mentor, and Gimbal, who's my mentor, and they knew each other like hundreds of years ago, and they and so we're going to see their adventure throughout Abrea. So Alan is part of the team, and we're bringing on a new guy, Gabe, who's going to be playing a tiefling. So we've got our crazy crew, an Aasimar, a tiefling, a Goliath, and a tinker gnome. And that's the crew we have running, and it's going to be like very pirate. It's going to be more free flowing than this game. This game is our flagship. That one's going to be a lot more like traditional D&D, where we're just kind of traveling around the world having misadventures, and I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, it'll be pretty cool.
How did you
I'm going to be
come up-
playing like a How did I come up with my character?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just hadn't played a straight mage or anything, so I'm gonna play it'll be a wizard, and then I was like looking at the like different schools or whatever, and I just picked one that sounded fun, and was like, let's build a character around that.
Yeah, that's always the key with D&D character creation. It's like, just do what sounds fun, because you're gonna be stuck with this whatever you choose for the next portion of time, so you might as well enjoy it.
Yeah, totally. I totally agree. It's been crazy as we've started this channel, because we're going through the character creation a lot more. Like, we're not just playing one game that we're doing weekly, right? Like, we've got several ongoing games. We're going to be launching the book club on April 20th, or around April 20th. And that's going to be like superheroes, right? So it's like we're doing character creation in City of Mist of like these so it's been fun to like, I've created so many characters in the last few months that like sounded fun that now it's like, okay, well, this is just completely different. Like, let's give that a try. Mike, what are you up to? You've got a lot going on with Survivor and all your other RuPaul's Drag Race.
Yep, those are the main two right now. So I'm doing podcasts about those, and I'm also doing Exit Press for Survivor on behalf of Parade. I also do podcasts about Saturday Night Live on my own podcast called SNL Funhouse, and probably some other stuff coming up in the next couple months. Might be doing some coverage at the at some film festivals coming up. But yeah, it's a busy time of year, but it's a good time of year overall. So can't complain too much.
Yeah, the busier the better, unless it's like creating, stress or whatever. Like, as long as it's fun.
Characters.
Yeah, yes, exactly. If you want to find out what we're all up to, you can check out our Twitter. Mike is at Mike Bloomtype. It's right below us. I'm at John Reed 16, and Alan is at Captain Emo. So yeah, Mike, how are you enjoying your D&D streaming? This has to be very different from the other like podcasts and stuff that you do.
I mean, yeah, I would say so, just because on podcasts I need to at least pretend like I have an opinion about something or that I know what I'm talking about. But here, I'm happy I get to bring that into my character. But here, I mean, podcasts are all about like team building as well, though, right? One person can really carry everything on their backs. You sort of share the load there. So I'm glad that's something that, I've only been playing for about 3 or 4 months now at this point. So this was a good opportunity to sort of like parlay those skills into this. I'm still trying to get a hang of everything in terms of the arcana and everything that exists in this world in particular. But yeah, it's a little different just because, surprises are around the corner, but we get to go through it together. So that definitely helps.
Totally. And like I was going to say, if you ever, we're playing the Abrea. So the other show that we're starting, that's the backstory show, is called Abrea Before the Campaign. And if it's going to be running on basically the off week Tuesdays. So we do this show every other Tuesday, and then in between on Tuesdays we'll be doing the other show. So Mike, if you're ever available on a Tuesday that's not this, you can come like play a random character for a session if you want,
Oh yeah,
Mike's got some pirate salt in his veins too. I've played a little D&D with Mike off stream, and he's got a friendly pirate half orc in the roster that he got quite comfortable with. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm happy to swing around a club anytime as long as I'm free.
Cool. You guys can run off if you would like and take a minute for yourselves.
Yeah, do your thing, Alan. Go for. Or Alan, are you gonna stick around, or are you gonna?
Yeah, I'll pop out. Actually.
Okay, cool.
But do your thing, man. That's cool. So I was going to stick here with you, Rich, real quick to say, we're no longer partnered with Nerdrotic to release this stuff on YouTube. So in the show notes, we'll have a link to the new YouTube as Twitch gets rid of the 60, I think, day old content. That stuff is all going to be exported to our YouTube channel. So you can watch all of the videos over there. So head on over to YouTube in the link in the show notes, or you can just search TPK Games on YouTube and subscribe to us over there, because you'll see we may be doing some YouTube exclusive stuff, but for the most part, it'll all be on Twitch first, and it'll show up over there on our YouTube channel after. Yeah, for those of you like watching tonight here with us, we're so glad to have you for sure. But Twitch, it's the nature of Twitch. It's cool now because the whole catalog is up there, and you can pop on Twitch and watch the campaign from episode 1. But yeah, those days are numbered, and so go hit subscribe on that YouTube channel and follow us over there, and go watch the back stuff.
It's been cool to be able to do reruns on off days that we're not streaming. That's like episode 1 through 4 or whatever. And you can just watch it all straight through. And it's been really fun to run that, but those days will be ending soon. So definitely head over to YouTube so you can do that sort of thing for yourself and queue that stuff up.
Excellent.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. Go take a break. Cool. Yeah. So the same goes for you, Taryn. I know John was saying to Mike while you were gone, but so we're starting our second show at TPK Games, and it's going to be called Abrea before the campaign, and it'll be the Tuesdays that we don't stream the campaign. So if you've ever got a Tuesday free and a hankering to play some D&D on the nights that we're not doing this, you're always, of course, the invitation is always extended for you to come join this band of pirates as they sail the high seas and, create mayhem.
Awesome. Sounds good.
Cool. Yeah. It's going to be fun. I'm hyped for it. Alex was a pretty big contributor. We were talking about ideas for what we wanted to do. And Alex hyped me up, and I'm glad, where he was like, hey, man, we've got this really cool world. We should, play in it. I want to see the rest of it. I want to see what Abrea's like. Let's play in this place. What if I played Valerian, Ryeth's mentor? And it's like, oh, wait, that's a cool idea. That could be a lot of fun. Yeah.
I think
I
it's...
just spilled water everywhere.
Oh, nice. Hopefully not on the keyboard.
Not on the keyboard. On all my notes, but not on the keyboard.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever.
Just
notes, right? I'm super psyched about it. I think it's a little daunting creating Ryeth's mentor, but I think, Ryeth being the naive character that he is, I think it's going to be fun to portray what Valerian is actually like versus Ryeth's perception of him as this badass mentor that took him in and taught him everything he knew. And I have some fun. It's going to be I'm really excited about the class and about the race. Two things that a race I've never played actually, and a class I've dabbled with, but I haven't gotten into it in depth as I'm going to. So.
It's an interesting group. The composition's pretty good, but I'm excited to see what happens with it. And I like this kind of backdrop that we've selected for ourselves of piracy and kind of aquatic adventures, right? The nautical theme will be fun. I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah. So I got to play this playtest. I know I mentioned it earlier, but it was pretty wild fooling around with an 18th level 5th edition character. That was daunting, but I felt like I earned my DM stripes by the end of it.
You killed it, by the way. All-star MVP, not to exclude everyone else's contribution.
Oh yeah, no, everybody else was huge. Yeah,
I was excited to see you play, and it delivered on every level.
All right, well, good. There you go.
Everyone's being so nice to each other tonight. Something must be wrong.
Except for that time I stole, I robbed the little little goblin.
Yeah.
We probably should have looked at that orb before we were heading into this potentially very big battle.
But the most fun thing to do with D&D is to just hold shit up and be like, this will work.
Watch this. Oh god.
I think it's going to be interesting. Do you have to know what something is to use it in theory, unless it's like a potion, right? I guess that's I don't know, it's a DM fluctuating thing, I think.
Yeah.
In the past.
I think so. I think there are certain things that just happen. You know what I mean?
Hit a fat Arcana check, and it's like, all right,
yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I hope it's not anticlimactic, but
Okay.
I
got a couple guesses as to what it is. We'll see.
Cool. So, are you guys ready for it?
Oh, so you guys know I'm getting a little bit of lag once in a while where like everybody's video is like catching up and I hear some stuff. So if I start to repeat myself and sound like a child, like, listen to me, that's why.
Sounds good. Yeah, I'm noticing Mike is getting a little laggy as well. My connection's pretty good over here, so I'll have to call the internet company before next week and get it all clear.
My map on Roll20 is pretty slow as well, so I'm wondering if there might be something on my side that's doing it today.
Interesting.
Internet.
I wonder. It's not a particularly monstrous map, but nonetheless, here we go. Combat has begun. So, you guys are jogging down this road. You're doing like the adventuring team, like action jog, running for the bridge. Come on, we got this. Oh, shit. And so the wyverns descend. 19, the one in front of you will go. What did I say it was? About 60 feet up in the air, and it is 45 feet away. And ultimately it comes flying down to about here where it's skids down into the soil. You can see that it doesn't have front legs, right? The dragons of Abrea especially are four-legged creatures with these wings on their back and their front arms. They're almost, dragons in Abrea are almost cat-like in the way they move. They're smooth and graceful and reflexive, but this is a brute creature, and it's got these thick, strong, kind of tree trunk built squat back legs, and then just these two enormous wings that sprawl out on either side of it. And these two back legs end in clawed, taloned feet that dig furrows into the earth as it crashes into the soil in the ground here right in front of you guys. But it had to dash to close distance given how far away it was from you, and so it cannot attack this round. Tone Goodheart, you are up.
Yay! All right.
Yay!
I yell yay as I run forward.
Battlecraft
Well,
the
since
elf.
we just received the sage advice of Gita as to, where the most dangerous part of the wyvern is, take out my trusty katana. I'm going to see if I can cut the tail off, or at least the barb part off of the tail.
It's pretty massive, but go ahead and make an
Why
attack.
not? You can do anything. It's D&D.
You sure can. I love this attitude. 15. You connect. You come charging up next to this thing as it like wheels, watching you run past it, and you bring the katana crashing down atop its tail. Roll some damage.
Let's get something good going on. Two-handed
Two-handed?
for 7.
Points of damage. Now, the katana sinks down into its tail, and you see blood spray up from either side of this cleaving cut as you lay it down in. But you hit the bone underneath, and the sword stops like you've hit a wall of stone. It is so strong. And so that's your first attack. Second attack.
I'll do it again. Bone can be chopped through eventually, right?
It sure
19.
can. And so, like a good butcher, you bring the sword back up and cleave down into the same spot. Roll damage.
For 9 points of damage.
Okay, the tail is wounded and bleeding, but is still quite firmly attached to the body of this wyvern above, which is now glaring at you with its beady little reptilian eyes. Bonus action.
I'm gonna punch it in the or poke it in the eye
There you go. Yeah!
for 21. 21.
Hits. You like glance out as its head is like coming down towards you, and you punch it right in the eye, which is like massive. And you can see like the nictitating membrane of the eye like kind of from underneath, and all of a sudden this dark eye is much lighter, but it is still on you and looks quite angry now. Quite angry. That's your action. Bonus action. You have movement left.
Oh,
if you
I did-
defeat it.
Well, if I do it, does he take an attack of opportunity?
Oh, he sure does.
I'll hang out then and hope that my friends will surely swoop in and save Tone Goodheart.
Fair enough. And so number one friend, Thinnea Hallowwhisper, it's your turn.
How far is the wyvern off the ground now?
This one in
one's on the
front
ground.
is on the ground.
Okay,
it just like
great.
crashed down into the ground with you guys.
Cool.
I am going to see what Tone is doing. I like the idea, so I'm going to take out my rapier, and I am going to try to do the same thing.
Oh, interesting. Poke the tail off. So you come charging up here next to Tone or something?
Let's put her right slowly. It moves there.
Yeah, put it on the other side so we become like those two guys using doing a sawhorse.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to stay here after this, but for now.
15 does in fact hit.
Ooh.
For 7 points of piercing damage. Excellent.
I'm going to get my sneak because he's within 5 feet.
You sure do. Okay.
Nice.
And then I am going to use my bonus action to disengage and move further away.
You got it. So where were you here? You moved 25 feet. You don't have a hell of a lot of movement left.
Okay, so then right there.
Okay, you got it. You step away from him. Shael GreyThorne, flail in hand, you are up. Are you muted, Alan?
I am. I'm gonna Hexblades curse this guy. I'm sorry.
No problem.
Yeah, I'm gonna Hexblades curse this guy.
I thought you were just like muttering to yourself.
A little bit. I mean,
like you're really
I
into your
wasn't
character.
not. That's a fashion dragon's always coming up in here causing a nonsense. Have this!
You conjure the force of the Leviathan and summon it around this thing, focusing your Hexblades curse. And then you smash out with your packed flail, and it collides with the side of this thing. 13 is just enough to hit. You see scales crack and shatter, flaking off as the flail connects with it. Roll damage.
Oh yeah, we'll roll the damage.
Excellent. 7 plus
Wait.
your proficiency bonus because you have Hexblade's curse up.
Oh, it is 3. So
Excellent.
and then I'm gonna burn a first level spell slot to do this.
Oh, with the divine smite. So that's 10, 13 points of damage together. So you guys see Shael swing this gleaming, watery flail into the side of this thing, and you see this burst of this almost like radiant blue energy like channel around it as it connects with the side of this reptile's body, shattering scales underneath. That's your action. Bonus
Get
action.
off my lawn!
You gonna move anymore?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay, excellent. Ugat goes. Ugat Ugat just yells from the back. He where are you, Ryeth, in comparison to him? You're like right in front of him. Ugat steps up next to you and is like, "We run away now? Or we fight this thing?"
I think we're gonna have to fight these things, buddy.
It's no real good idea.
You can
Not
go
so
hide
smart.
if you want. We'll take care of it.
Not so smart at all. And he like wiggles his fingers a little bit and he mutters some words. And you see this little globule of acid like spray off his hand and sail over towards the thing. It fails its saving throw and takes 5 points of acid damage from Ugat. Okay.
Woo, Ugat!
Good job, buddy.
Go, Ugat. Now, problems.
This is what I was worried about.
You should be worried about it, my young friends. And so,
Yeah.
while you guys are, while Ugat's like watching the one up in front, you hear the and like the leaves and the dirt gets kicked up around your feet and legs as the second wyvern, much closer than the first, comes crashing down into the earth, its claws digging into the soil of the road as it charges almost like a bird up on its back 2 legs with these wings like up, and it takes 1, 2, 3, 4 steps charging into you guys for Ugat, Sarah, and Ryeth. So Ryeth, it goes with the bite for you.
What a
Claws for Ugat, 23.
Oh, Jesus.
Ryeth, 11 points of piercing damage as it snaps its maw down on top of you, rending your flesh, tearing through the feeble magical protection of your mage armor.
feeble magical protection.
Feeble. Then it lashes out with its claws, rending tiny Ugot's flesh as he screams out in pain, taking 16 points of damage from the claws, and finally it punches out with its stinger for Sarah. 20 hits solidly.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Oh.
my girl.
I'll make the save. Yes.
All right.
Oh, sweet victory. So she takes 16 plus 10 is 26 points of damage altogether. And you see Ryeth, you hear her scream. "Ah!" As like this curved, like it looks almost like a scorpion stinger with this big bulbous knot, and then this one kind of like hooking claw curving off of it, and the stinger just like crashes down into her back, stabbing through her leather armor. And as it pulls out, you could see literally the venom like dripping off of the end of it. That fucked her up pretty badly. That was on 4. She goes on 3. She is going to cast Cure Wounds on herself.
I bet.
Because she is fucked up. For 21, she heals. Almost getting rid of all of this. Okay, cool. And she's not going to move because she's like kind of fucking bad position. So she rotates around to here. Ryeth, Thunderbuck, you're up.
Okay. Can I make like an Arcana check if I remember because I feel like that they're resistant to lightning. Is that like a thing I feel that I saw last time?
Make an Arcana check.
19.
They're definitely not resistant to lightning. You've
All
like
right.
heard about wyverns
Nice.
before. They're pretty much just like big animals, and like they're not resistant to any kind of energy.
All right. So this has worked pretty well the last time. I'm going to put a lightning bolt to its face.
The go-to. This explosion of thunder as Ryeth summons lightning from his fingertips and fires it right through the giant reptile. And he fails badly, taking 23 points of lightning damage. It like fucking screams, this blood-curdling scream rattles through all of your heads as it like winces back from the staggering force of this. That's your action. Bonus action?
Bonus action, I am going to use Tempestuous Magic. I don't know why that doesn't link. Oh, there we go. Perfect. And I'm going to move the fuck away from it. Because I'm useless.
This magic lifts him up off the ground as the wind conjures beneath him and he flies backwards, landing 10 feet right next to you, Poe. You have the rest of your movement?
I'm going to go like a little bit just over near these rocks where I can kind of hit both them. Yeah, I'll stay there.
Got it. And with that, Poe, you are up, sir.
Okay. Okay, so Sarah is a okay, so I am going, God, that seems redundant. But it doesn't matter. Okay, I'm going to step up next to Gita, like in between Gita and Tone. And I'm going to lay my hand onto the wyvern, and I am going to call out to Deimos and Phobos to curse the wyvern and cast Bestow Curse. And
got it.
I would like to
Super
ask
curse.
you if I can apply the disadvantage on attack rolls against me, but have it be against Thinnea instead. It says that I can ask the DM.
Wisdom save. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet.
He cursed.
Okay, so I want the wyvern to have a disadvantage against attacks against Thinnea.
Disadvantage. Okay.
If that's okay with you.
Sure. Sure is.
And then I am so that's a concentration spell. So
It sure is. So the other concentration spell, you add up the resistance.
the
on
resistance
Thinnea.
drops. I figure this is better for her anyway. And we're still playing by our rules, so this is good. I can actually do these things in this game. And then I will call up
Who's
for.
the sweetest DM, John? Who's the sweetest?
You're the best. I love you for
Okay,
allowing
go
me
ahead,
to
go
do
ahead.
this. Use my bonus action to call down a shield of faith and drop my yo-yo in front of the other wyvern. Is that
Shield of
can I do
Faith
that?
is not a spiritual
Oh, sorry,
weapon. Which one?
sorry. I meant spiritual weapon. My bad.
No problem. I just want to make sure we're
Yeah. No, we are. And I want it to be on the other wyvern, the one near Sarah. Okay, so bring that
good
down
call.
by 1.
All right, a spiritual yo-yo appears.
Spiritual yo-yo.
Just for anybody who's like paying attention and wondering what the hell we're talking about. So rules as written.
Yeah.
When you cast a spell that's a bonus action spell, which is what John just did with spiritual weapon, the second spell you cast generally can only be a cantrip. I do not care about these rules. If you want to cast 2 spells around, go ahead. You will run out faster, and I love it. That makes me happy. So that's your
21
action,
to
bonus
hit.
action. Yep.
5
Hits.
force damage against that wyvern. And
Got
then, so I took 15. So now the question is, do I stand here or do I take an attack of opportunity? I'll stay here. I'll end my turn.
Okay, you end your turn. With that, Gita has snapped her sword up off of her belt. She has this massive round shield in one hand, and she screams this wild, furious scream as she like brings the longsword down wildly atop this thing, hits for 10 points of slashing damage, and her second attack hits
Nice.
for another 13.
Yes.
She's just like chop, slash, like across, and the blood starts flowing freely. She's a good damage, paladin things. She's not laying out any crazy smites. It's 23, 62, 72. Okay, cool. That's her turn. Wyvern is up. Oh, buddy. Oh, boy. 1 through 4. I'm starting with Shael.
Aw.
Sorry, friend. I apologize. It lashes the stinger out at you, Shael. 24. Is that it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Saving throw. Con save. DC 15.
Oh, boy.
Godspeed, brother.
Oh, no
Oh,
shit.
jeez.
You ready? It's gonna hurt. 33 points of damage. So the stinger like lands high in like your thigh, and you're like, oh, that's not that. Oh, as you feel like this burning, hellish pain as the poison, your whole leg, it's spasms. It sees underneath you, and you're just like gritting. Do turtles have teeth? That's an interesting question we'll revisit. But you're gritting your mouth closed, like, yeah, terrible, terrible pain. With that, bite and claw, it's gonna go for your girl there in the front who just fucked it up pretty good. Claw, bite, 15. Does not hit. Does not hit.
Sweet.
She like batters away the claw with like her shield, and the bite comes down like on her arm, and it's not able to gain purchase. That's her turn.
That's me. Okay. Oh well, I don't know if the katana is good at cutting at the tail. So I'm gonna try to take the katana. I think let's try to blind this thing. I'll go into its eye with the sword.
Excellent. Slash up towards its eye with the sword.
That's a 20.
Hits. Yes, hits.
For
For
17
14.
points of damage. Oh no, so sorry, 14 points of damage.
No, we're
You do have advantage,
Yeah.
right? Everybody's flanking the shit out
Oh
of it.
yeah, that's a 20.
The damage. And yeah, you slice out its left eye. You just like drag the sword down across the side of its face, and you see the eye split wide open. 17, 18. Okay, got it. And it like again, like its wings like like the air is just like pumping past all of you, debris kicking up off the ground. Second attack, Tom.
I mean, it would be criminal for me to not try to balance his face out, so I'll go for the right eye with the katana. 20.
Jeez.
Or 27.
You hit. it pulls its face away, and the cut cuts across like the top of its eye for 8 points of damage. Got it. It is not like fully blinded, but there's blood like pouring down the side of its face. It looks like pretty fucked up badly. Bonus action.
Can I use my bonus action to, let's see. Sorry, I should have prepared for this. Yeah, I'll use Step of Wind to disengage, and then I'll take my, and then I'll move away.
You got it.
I'm gonna run towards this tree. Bye.
Oh, Tone.
I can't help you anymore.
Tone's gonna tone.
Tone's gonna tone.
Like, I took out one of its eyes.
Thanks.
And it still breathes.
Oops, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Tone is gonna tone. Okay, Thinnea, you are up.
So I'm going to move up to it again and try to help with this eye task, because if it's blind, that would be great.
Oh, you've got advantage now.
You do have advantage.
Yes!
Yes.
Kill it.
That's 20 points of damage, 35, and then sneak attack again because you double the sneak attack dice. 35, 46 points of damage.
Thinnea is
Ladies and
gonna
gentlemen, the Slayer strikes again.
Yes!
Thinnea Hallowwhisper, for the third enemy in a row, drives her rapier straight through the thing's eye, and you see that's the sword like impale out the top of the wyvern's skull as she like yanks it back out. Her gorgeous white gown being covered in gore and viscera as this thing's brains come dumping out of its eye hole all over you.
Yes.
It's a hideous sight. But
I'll just shake my dress a little bit so that it turns white again.
My friend.
excellent. Well played. That's your turn. You gonna move? That's your action movement. You still moving in a bonus action.
Yeah, I will. I'll move just like down here.
Shell, you get hit points.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
yeah. You didn't
What?
abandon me. I thought
I don't abandon.
I'm,
Just
I'm,
because Tone is my buddy.
I'm gonna remember this. I got your back.
It's like
Are
in
you gonna make
Telltale
me a
games.
friendship bracelet?
I will. I will.
Ryeth
Okay,
will
great.
remember this.
All right. I'm just gonna move on over here. Just mosey on over to this dragon.
Oh, you're
I can't even get on. I can't even get all the way over there. I guess I could.
Sure you can. You got
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah. I'll go stare it right in the face. And I'm gonna hit it. I'm gonna hit it real hard.
Hit it real hard.
Smash that thing. Yeah, you got it. Crack! You bring that flail down on this friggin' wyvern again. Shells or scales like cracking and just sloughing off of it. Okay, roll damage.
Okay. And then I'm gonna lay on hands myself for like all of the point. I think I
Is
can
that
only
an action? I
It's
thought that was an action. Is
I
it a
thought
bonus
was
action?
bonus action.
Just double check.
Oh, it is an action. Never mind.
Okay. So you step in and like smash the thing with the flail for another 7 points of damage. You are not able to lay on hands. No bonus action. That's it. You're good.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
I guess.
Ugat goes. Poor Ugat. He seems pretty fucking tilted. He's afraid. He's hurt. He doesn't want anything to do with this. He fires magic missiles point blank for 11
Nice.
points of damage into it. These three like arcane bolts streaking off of his finger, just like pounding into this thing as he stands right there next to it. And he's like yelling at you like, hurry and kill this thing, old man. This thing eat me one bite. With that, this thing
So help me, I will let it.
You would let it too, wouldn't you? Okay, this is trouble. 1 through 3, starting with Ugat. So you're 3 and 4 here, Portia L. Keep putting yourself in all the right spots.
Oh,
Sarah, no.
All the right spots.
Sarah, no.
Oh
Sarah.
no.
Oh Jesus!
Is 20 hit?
Yeah. Wait. Yes.
Oh god
It
damn.
should.
Roll a con saving
Yeah,
throw.
it
I think
does.
it does. I think you're 18 with the shield +2, right?
17 plus. Yeah. No, I'm at 19 with the shield.
Okay, got it. So con save. And then he'll bite for Ugat and claw for Sarah.
Oh God.
You poor man. You poor sweet fellow. Good luck, Twirtle. Good luck.
I'm so dead.
36 points of damage.
Oh yeah, I'm down. Oh yeah.
Drop.
Shit.
Shal drops. You guys watch as he like charges up and smashes the wyvern with his flail, and almost instantly the wyvern turns at him like, "Ah!" and the tail like snaps down. This time getting him high, up in like the shoulder, just past where his arm comes out of the shell, and you could see in like the sunlight the glistening of the poison as it yanks its stinger out of him, and he tumbles backwards to the ground. That's that. It bites at Ugat and misses, but it claws Sarah for 9. Okay, bummer. That was a problem. Oh, the next thing happens. What's happening now? What is this secret turn? I don't understand.
Oh. What is this secret
So-
turn?
Oh,
It's interesting, isn't it?
It's Olaf.
Back here,
it's your little friend.
you hear
Let's Broadblade.
being whispered, and suddenly a cloud appears around all you guys. 20-foot radius sphere. Okay. Oops. Bear with me a second. Objects and tokens. Okay, 20-foot radius, I said, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's 20.
Oh,
It's 10.
jeez.
20, 30, 40. Right here. A stinking cloud gets dropped on all you guys. Boom! This terrible, ugly, rotten green gas all of a sudden like surrounds all of you guys. Everyone saving throws. What are we rolling? Constitution saves.
Oh boy.
5.
15.
Fuck yeah.
Nice shot.
5, 3. Ryeth with the 19. Tone and Shell.
Tone's over here. Tone's in the trees.
Oh, Tone is in the trees. Look at that. Shell's down. I forgot you're down. I'm sorry. You're all good. You're all good.
Yeah. It does.
Because you're not alive.
Yeah. Your whole being dead makes you able to avoid breathing, fortunately for you, right? Ooh, all the
We
NPCs
can call it that.
down.
Does that include the wyvern?
It will include the wyvern. Oh no, it won't, because each creature that's completely within the cloud at the start of its turn. Oh, fair enough. These saving throws are for the start of your turn. I won't make you roll again unless you want to, because I fucked up. So I'll let you roll them again. Do need to breathe it. Strong wind. Yeah. Okay, my bad. I'm sorry. I'm used to shit happening when it's cast, not at the start of your turn. Anyway. That's Olaf Broadblade, and then he moves. He moves 30 feet and runs up to like here.
Oh no, you don't.
Poe, you're up.
Okay, so
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 now-
this poison's already here, right?
Yes, so you
Okay.
can roll the save now.
It was already
Like-
my turn, so I'll just say I'm poisoned. Like that was mine happened just now, so I don't think I should have to read.
Okay, so you spend your turn retching and railing. You literally like bend over and begin like vomiting, like clutching the ground, like like trying to like get air, puking all over yourself. Ryeth, you're up. You made your save.
All right. Sorry. I'm just
You're
checking
okay.
distances.
Yeah, take your
Okay.
time. Good.
I am going to move over to here, so I'm not in the cloud.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just recheck my math on this. We're good. We're good. All right. And I am going to cast this.
Ooh, ominous. Oh my god!
Oh.
And I'm going to take Sarah with me.
So you grab Sarah and you cast Thunderstep, and where are you going to?
We're going to head up north. Let's say right to the foot of the path.
You got it. He fails his con save, taking 7 points of thunder damage as you guys hear this explosion again of thunder. Boom! And Ryeth vanishes with Sarah.
I love all the targets you've left this wyvern to hit.
Yep. Real nice guy. That's your turn, Ryeth. That's at least like movement action, bonus action now that you're up there.
Cool. So I'm going to use my bonus action to cast Quicken Spell.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then I'm going to cast Chromatic Orb at the wyvern.
Okay.
So he's helping you guys out.
Wow.
Ooh, man, 10. You miss. You fire off the chromatic orb, and the wyvern like sees this gleaming sphere flying at it through the gas, and it like ducks down low and woof, snaps up with its wings, and it's able to like deflect the orb before it can like make contact and really damage it. And then you still have a little movement, I guess.
Now I'm just going to look over to Tone and be like, we need to get that guy.
Yeah, I figured that out by now. Thank you, though, for the clarification.
Okay, Sarah is like cursing a little bit, and so she will cast. Yeah, she's got to do this, I guess. She's going to cast Gust of Wind and disperse the cloud.
Thank God.
Yes.
Nice.
She is the Wind Cleric.
Oh, sorry. Did I move too much, John? I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Got excited.
I got excited. She does that, and then she like runs forward a couple of feet to here behind you, or to behind this rock right there. Okay, Gita goes. Gita like comes charging up, and then she standing back here will use her action to lay on hands on you, Shael, for 20 hit points.
Nice.
I'm liking her.
Yeah, she was a much better pickup than Sarah, guys.
We made a major upgrade.
I breathe again. I'm awake.
This wyvern, he did. Tone, you're up.
Okay, I will take Ryeth's sage advice, and I will run up to this new friend of mine.
You got it.
And I'm gonna give him a nice little howdy do with an introduction to my katana.
As he sees you charging up, he like glances over his shoulder and sees the sword coming at him. He's like, I got no quarrel with you, Alfred! 16 hits. Now he does.
For 13 damage.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
13 points of damage.
And I'll reply, no, but you have a quibble with my friend. Even though I don't have a bracelet, she's my friend. And then
You haven't given me a speech yet. I need a speech.
I've given you so many speeches.
Actually, that's the problem. You've given too many speeches.
That's the problem.
Every time I start to put the flowers together, I just like can't.
All right, I'll strike again with the katana. That is 21.
Beautiful.
For 12 points of damage.
Damn, that's 25
Nice.
bonus action.
I'll use a key point and do a stunning strike.
Oh, holy fuck. So here we go, unarmed attack.
Destroy him, Tone.
We got 22
Nice.
Yes.
Punch him right in the fucking head,
for
man.
9
He's,
damage.
just dizzied. Staggered. Stunned.
Stunning.
Stunning
No more fart
performance.
clouds from him anytime soon.
That was impressive, Tone. When you fight, you really fight.
It's a big win, but yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. That was Tone. Thinnea, you're up.
And that's the dwarf, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I hit him with my short bow from here? Or do I need to scooch up? I can't.
You sure can.
Cool.
$14 does not hit, even though he's paralyzed and you have advantage. You like, and it's a tough shot because you're like shooting through these brushes and like through these like tree branches, and the arrow just deflects off the breastplate that he's wearing. Ka-toom!
So angry.
I don't blame you.
I'm used to hitting.
Just doing 60 points of damage. You kill
First
everything. You
world
show up
problem.
and last hit everything, man.
She's gonna just like stomp on the ground and make frustrated noises until her next.
I love it. I love it. Okay, that's Thinnea Sha'el back from the brink of death yet again. You find yourself on the ground, prone with 20 hit points.
I'm gonna stand up for one.
Got it?
Gotta dust myself off a little bit and be like, what happened? Anyway. I can lay on hands myself and drink this potion, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna lay on hands myself for like all the 10 that I have. And then drink a potion. Oops, no, that's not. There we go.
So 10 points left in hands, and then you get a pound of potion.
Yeah, which I have 44 written here. I think that's right. Or am I wrong?
Plus
Do I have a
4.
better one? Yeah, 44 plus 4.
One of
Okay.
those, and then one regular one. Yeah.
Yeah. Give me 4 of these. 4. D4. 4. Roll. Woo!
Nice. That was good.
Nice.
So you get 25 HP back.
Nice.
I'm alive enough to take one more sting.
Godspeed, my friend. That's action, bonus action. You're not moving, I presume, right?
No, it'd be too easy to die.
Okay, Ugat goes, and Ugat's just like, "What you do, guy? We take too long. Kill this thing."
What hit it?
Something to God. This is a really tough call, man. He wants to disengage. I'm sorry, but that's
No, I understand.
I think that's the fair call, right?
he is
Yeah.
disengaged.
Considering he saw it basically down you in one go.
Yeah, and he comes sliding backwards, and now it goes. Let me just double check. Okay, 50-50. Yeah, high or low? You want high or low?
Jeez.
Give me low.
You taking low? He's taking
Take it
low.
low.
Oh, you
Nice
lucky
job.
bastard. It lashes out its stinger over you, Akita, and rolls a critical 1.
Oh, of course.
she lives up like her massive shield, like ding, blocks it out of the way. Like that was not so hard, old man.
I saw it stumble. I don't want to.
It claws at you and rolls another critical 1. And
See
I
it tripped.
say its third attack for that. Double critical 1's unacceptable. And so yeah, it's like all fucked up, unable to do much. This guy would go, but he is paralyzed. Poe, you're up.
So, what I'm gonna do is shout at Sarah, "Go help Tone and Ryeth," and then I'm gonna move up right next to Thinnea, and I'm going to shoot a guiding bolt at the wyvern.
Mm-hmm.
18 to hit,
hits.
and so it's got advantage on the next attack, melee attack, right against it. 15
Yes, sir.
points of radiant damage.
You got it, and it is now glowing. It is glimmering, this dim aura of like moonlight or sunlight or both.
I don't know if this counts as a weapon attack, but I don't really care either way. I'm going to then use my bonus action to hit with my spiritual weapon that's out there.
Yeah,
And yo-yo him
next
in.
attack, so I'm going to give it to you.
Oh, good. But that didn't help. 12.
Misses, unfortunately. The yo-yo snaps out, like crashing into it, but its scales are just too hardy. That's your movement, or that's action bonus action. Little movement.
I'm just going to end my turn there.
Okay, Ryeth.
Cool. I'm going to move 5 feet closer. And then I'm going to cast Lightning Lure. My favorite new spell.
Yeah.
Okay, it hits him. He will make a strength saving throw, and it will not.
He's paralyzed. Does he have disadvantage?
No, it doesn't particularly say he does for that. Like, he has all kinds of limits. Just double check. Let's double check.
I mean, yeah, like if he was like stunned or incapacitated.
Paralyzed creature is incapacitated, can't move or speak, automatically fails strength and dexterity saving throws.
Yes.
Nice.
All
All
right.
the strength of a coma patient.
So he takes 15.
He is yanked out from underneath you, Tone, and you can take an attack of opportunity against him when
Oh,
he goes.
yay!
You're welcome.
Alright. Thank you.
Because
All right.
I love things happening.
Slice it in one more time. Ooh.
what the hell was that?
Advantage. He's paralyzed.
Oh.
Perfect. He takes another 12 points of damage.
Oh my god, you just like the lightning yanks him backwards and you drag the sword across as he goes, as this thin line of blood appears on him. He is fucked up. Ryeth, that's your action, movement bonus action.
No, I'm good.
No, I'm good.
I'm very happy with the success of my turn, so,
Satisfied.
yeah.
Agreed.
Sarah steps up here next to you and is just like, he looks pretty close to dead already. And so she just throws out a sacred flame at him and he automatically fails that saving throw. So she takes another 12 points of damage. This guy is getting fucking destroyed. Okay, Gita goes. Gita steps in next to you like, come on, old man. Show me why you are here. And so she swings wildly at this thing. And critical one.
Well, at least I hit the thing.
She hits it, and literally the wyvern like grabs the sword with its mouth as she swings up and yanks it out of her hand and throws it. And she just looks at it with like the shock and shame, deep shame.
She's not that much better than Sarah.
As her sword is like thrown away from her. That's it. She loses her second attack. Tone, you're up.
I will approach my new friend and take another strike at him.
He is no longer paralyzed. Right at the start of your next turn, he gets moved. Okay. And so
That is 10.
He like has his weapon out and like had been paralyzed this whole time, but he swings his short sword out, battering away the katana. Second attack.
Try it again. 12?
No, bang! He like knocks the sword at you
Oh my
again.
God.
Battering away the second attack. Bonus action.
I will try to go for him with my fists of fury. There we go. Let's see. 7 points of damage.
Okay. You like pound out with your hand, connecting with them solidly, and like you smash into his nose. You see blood start running like freely from his nostrils, and he looks like hanging on by a thread.
like perfectly primed for Thinnea to steal the kill again.
Yep. I'm
So you
I
see
just
turn
been-
order.
Thinnea?
Like wishing for just one hit point. That's all I've been wishing for this whole round, and I'm not even gonna hit him. Let's be honest. All right,
so,
I'm gonna.
so I'll yell to Thinnea, all yours, Chief.
I love it.
And I am gonna call out to Deimos and Phobos for their guidance.
I love it.
Oh, I'm so scared. Okay.
You feel like pride well up in your heart. and you fire the arrow just as the dwarf turns and smiles at you. And Thinnea, you see that glimmering green tooth, that emerald tooth in the front of his mouth, like shine, like Joe Pesci Home Alone style, as he throws you the smile, and like the arrow ting batters off of his armor again. That's your attack. You have movement bonus action.
There has to be some way that I can attack him. Oh, I'm so frustrated. Nope.
Remember, we have advantage on the wyvern too right now.
No, it's just the next attack.
Oh.
Double check. It might be the next. It might like not go away unless you hit him, but I think it's just the single next attack.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I would have to dash to get to him.
And then, yeah, you're tapped anyway. Right?
Yeah.
Sorry.
We already opened the water gate, so I'll just like try a single tier. And that's it.
Poor Thinnea did not get to kill Steel Tone.
Just want to murder.
Sha'al, vengeance is in your hands. What would you like to do?
Slap this thing until it can't look at things anymore. Yeah, I'm gonna go just in with the flail.
It's just looming up over you.
Oh, my Lancer.
Oh God.
Absolutely nothing.
With the flail.
Guys, we've
And
lost
it's
it.
That's your attack, movement bonus action.
I'm gonna do a little steppy do dance over here, and go over here since I should have done that beforehand.
Don't they do stuff?
No, that was the fan wave.
Oh, because I was worried about that too. I was like, no, I'm not doing that again.
I know. That was a real dirty DM trick. That guy was a jerk who did that to you. Okay, Ugat goes. Ugat, man, he's not convinced about wasting spells on this thing. What's the worst that happens? A turtle dies? He throws an acid splash at it. It rolls a saving throw. And it fails. It's a little acid.
Ugat coming in clutch.
No, he's just like, probably we should go now. Okay, the wyvern goes. You still want low or high here, Shal?
Yeah, I'm on low.
64.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Snaps the stinger at her. Claw bite for you. 19 and 11 for you.
11 doesn't hit me.
The claw hits you for 16.
Oh, the okay. When the claw hits me, I'm gonna use Hellish Rebuke
Yeah.
Nice.
Reaction, baby.
at level 2.
This fire rolls off of the turtle as the thing like drags like its back foot these huge talons against it. So it's 13. Oh wait, DC 15 strength save.
Strength for epics.
So 13, and you got it. Okay, cool. And what did I get on my claw with her? 16 does not hit her. She batters it away with the shield again. Yep. She's able to like knock the friggin' stinger away. That is the wyvern's turn. Olus Broadblade gets to go again.
Where's my claw damage?
Oh, sorry. Thank you for that.
Yeah, that's fine.
I gave it to your... Oh, 16. You took 16.
Oh, I did miss it. Okay.
Yep. Okay, Olus Broadblade yanks. He's got like a short sword in his hand already, and he pulls a warhammer off his belt, and he's now like spinning these two weapons around in front of him. And so he begins like spinning them, adding them to his defensive stance as he goes. Give me a second here. Okay, and then he casts on himself. You see him like humming and like whispering these words, and like you see his wounds healing on his body tone as you're fighting him, and he's just like focused on you with this like single-minded ferocity or whatever, like spinning his weapons in front of him defensively. Poe, you're up.
Okay, I am going to simplify things a little bit, and I'm going to remember back to my Citadel days and shoot and start to call out to Phobos to have the wyvern get very, very cold and cast frostbite on him.
Excellent. Conjure the frost, baby. Con save. 20. So he takes no damage, right?
No damage.
Okay, cantrip stuff. So that's your action. Bonus
But then I'm
action?
going to use my bonus action to whip out with my spiritual weapon and try to sling him right in the throat.
So the spectral yo-yo, like the sun and the moon itself, snaps out next to you, Shael, connecting solidly with the wyvern. Roll damage.
For 12 force.
Oh, nice. Nice. He seems pretty fucked up.
And I'll reach out and hold Thinea's hand and end my turn.
Oh, jeez.
Whoa.
It's getting a little weird over here. Okay, Ryeth, you're up.
All right. Well, all right. I'm going to cast a chromatic orb at our dwarven friends.
Madon. Was that a critical one that I said?
Yeah, that's a critical fail. So.
Well, I will not make you hit yourself with the chromatic orb, but man, it just misses you, Tone. Yeah, this like gleaming ball of like, I don't even know what it was, thunder, lightning, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, this like shocking arcing ball just spins right past your head, and you can't help but glance at Ryeth like, whoa, dude, whoa.
Following your plan.
And then I'm going to use Quicken Spell again and do the same thing.
What's insanity? The definition of insanity?
Oh my god! Double critical ones! Double critical ones! Do me a favor, just because this is like way too good. Roll one more attack roll. Yeah, 24. Tone. The chromatic orb hits you. Boo!
Oh,
From the side. Roll damage on Tone. I don't usually do this for critical ones, but man, there were 3 in a row. I have to do it. It's begging me. The game is begging me. You take 11 points of lightning damage, Tone. Oh, Jesus. Higher level cast. 17 points of lightning damage.
Sorry, dude.
I'm feeling it.
It was my original plan to cast it at a higher level. I had to go for it.
Mad respect, Ryeth.
I would have betrayed my own like true plan.
In his eagerness and enthusiasm, Ryeth has accidentally shot his monk with a chromatic. Magic is dangerous, kids. Magic safety classes. Okay, that's Ryeth. That's your action. Bonus action. You have movement.
It's gonna stay here.
Sarah's just like, what are you doing by the wing, Thunderbuck? And so she'll like come like running over here behind you, Tom, and throw cure wounds into you because
Jay, thank you. I never said you were useless.
Never one time.
else.
Right.
5 points back.
All right, that'll work.
Better than nothing.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. That's her turn, movement, action. She's not going to pull the bonus action out. Gita goes. Gita, with advantage now, has no sword in her hand because it was ripped out and thrown away from her. So she will, she's fucking crazy, and she proceeds to try to punch the
It's like the punch a shark thing.
Yeah.
That's it. She's just like, "Rah!" bam, and like punches it, and that's for 1 point of damage plus strength is 4, and then she fires off fucking one of these here
Yeah.
Nice.
for another 9. So that's 13 points of damage. You see the radiant energy like burst off of her hand as she connects with this thing. Excellent. She's just like, kill it, old man. She's like screaming at you from the other side. L. Tone, you are up.
All right, let's see what this new defensive stance will bring. We'll start with
But not that.
that is for 13 points of damage.
Okay. Second attack.
Jeez.
Try it again.
Yeah, this guy's beefy.
Yeah.
The heal really helped him out.
23
There you
It's-
go.
for
Come on.
8 points of damage.
Now punch
He
him in the
drops.
nose. Yes.
He drops. There
Yeah.
we go.
On it back, and he just like tumbles over. He like swings the warhammer up in this ridiculous like theatrical display to try to block the blow, and you just like curve the sword at the last second, bringing it down and sink it into his like his exposed flesh, and he drops, collapsing to the ground, dropping his sword and his axe.
Cool.
Still have movement and a bonus action.
No, I want to search him, but maybe
Okay.
I won't use that as a bonus action.
Thinnea, you see Tone cut down your enemy. Man, what a bummer. What would you like to do?
Nope, she's muted.
You muted.
The dogs were barking. So I stomp my foot. I'm really frustrated. And then I turn around and I am going to hide behind Poe, or attempt to hide behind Poe.
It can still see you. Behind
She's just so angry. And then I'm going to try to short bow.
Nice.
Nice.
Now there's your crit.
Go ahead and roll some massive damage
Yeah.
again. Yeah. So 9 plus 12 is 21, plus 12 is 33 points of damage. And for the 4th time in 2 days, Thinnea Hallowwhisper fires an arrow off this short bow, and the wyvern rearing up over Shael and Gita like with its mouth wide open roaring, and you just see the like fletching of her arrows vanish into its mouth, and all of a sudden the like scream is cut short as it like swallows this arrow and keels straight backwards, crashing into this tree stump, dead as dead can be. Its wings sprawling out of the room.
Yes. Good job. Good job.
That's bad guys. Bad guys. And so with that, Uga turns like, "You real dangerous lady, Mom. What mom have? My mom way more dangerous than you, Turtle," he says. Way, like looking at you, Shell. Gita like walks
Should
over
have fed him
up
to the wyverns.
and she like walks over to you to Shell, and it's just like, "I will give this get up much quicker than it's dead." She says, "Impressive, old man, impressive."
Well, you know, I've come back from death more times than I can count. Mostly because I forget.
And she like picks her sword up off the dirt and kind of like wipes the blood off on like on her pant leg, right, as she sheathes it again. Like, normally I do not let my enemies throw my weapons around, but things seem to be getting far too easy that fight. Like to keep it interesting. She's like,
Sure.
Yeah.
I thought about
Close.
curling up in my shell to keep it interesting.
I bet you did. Okay, so what's everybody doing? Tone, you're right on top of the dead guy. You wanted to search him quick?
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna watch him search him.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
everybody keeps an eye on Tone.
Yeah, I'll walk up over there.
Why? It
and
was
be like-
Ryeth who stole Ugat's book.
Yeah, everyone believes that.
While he's searching, I'll be like, I
Darren,
believe,
you to do.
I believe I saw an axe he was carrying, maybe.
Yeah, so as you start going over him, Tone, real quickly, you can see he's got a couple of weapons. He's got the sword and the warhammer he was fighting you with, and there is a hand axe at his belt. And you can see he's got he's got a bundle of rope on his hip and a small pack.
I mean, since we're all kind of there, can I just... I guess I don't have detect magic, but...
Oh, you don't, huh?
Oh,
Interesting.
I do, I believe.
Do I? Maybe, did I take that? I don't even know.
I don't know.
No, I didn't. Like an idiot.
Oh, I don't have it either.
Yeah.
I mean, I do.
All right. Yeah. So we probably shouldn't like directly touch any of this stuff before we figure out what it is.
Oopsie. Ignore that.
I do, however, want to like tilt his mouth open and do an Arcana check on the glowing tooth. Does that make sense?
Roll. Go ahead and roll an Arcana check on his glowing tooth.
What's it smell like in there?
Oh, that tooth is magic as fuck, Ryeth.
Yeah.
Is Ryan
So-
going to try and take it out?
That
As he's
tooth?
hesitating, I want to do it.
All right.
How do you
I
do
hand
it?
her my axe.
No, I'm not. I want to do it. I want to be way closer. I'm going to take one of my daggers.
Nice.
and
So
just cut
yeah,
into
you've
it.
like pried his mouth open, Ryeth, and you're examining this emerald tooth that he's got, and you see runes carved into it distinctly, and you're like, oh shit, this guy has an enchanted tooth. And just as it's like coming, you're like, man, how am I even going to get that? Like a shoulder kind of like bumps you out of the way, and you see the gore-soaked white dress of Thinnea as she leans in front of you with the dagger, and it's just like, like yeah, you're able to like pretty quickly like cut this tooth out of his face. Thinnea, the Slayer and Butcher Dentist, of the Emerald Dynasty. And so yeah, you like yank this bloodied emerald tooth out of his mouth, and like you're holding it in your hand. You've got it. Yep.
Is my Arcana check enough to like know what it is, what the runes are, or should I do another one?
Now that it's out and like you glance over at it again, do you like let him see it, like
Yeah.
Thinnea?
Mhm.
Okay, so you hand it to him, and Ryeth, you like take it and wipe off like the blood and the gum and stuff, and like you're able to hold it up to the sun and look through it and see the runes on it, and like you're not 100% sure how this thing works, but you're pretty sure it's similar to like rings that you've heard of, which store spells that are cast into them.
Okay. I will relay this information to Thinnea and be like, this was your thing. Obviously, you should take this tooth.
I can't cast any spells, so you can take it.
Well, I mean, it stores a spell, so you can just use it. Like, there should be a spell stored in it, right?
Okay.
We don't know what the spell is, though.
Nope.
Well, due to the fact that she went in pulled out his tooth and nothing seemed to happen to her, I think it's okay to go in and start divvying these things up.
So to that end, Tone, like you're able to snatch up his pack pretty quickly. And as you like open it up and start like rummaging through it, you find inside of it like one like looks like a metal flask that you are pretty confident is a potion of some kind.
Okay. Who used the healing potion? Was that you, Shell?
Yeah.
Shell,
I
you're always
kinda-
dying. Here, take this potion.
Always. Now, wait a minute.
I'll do another Arcana check to check it out, if that's cool.
Yeah, of
Mhm.
course.
Roll it up. Yep, I'll let you do
Nice.
it.
Great, baby.
This is not a healing potion. This is this, in fact, is a potion of invisibility.
Oh, cool.
I mean, Shell's also pretty slow, so maybe he should
Yeah.
take it.
It's pretty useful either way.
I'm sorry. He actually had 2 flasks in him, and the second flask tone, like as you're like looking at it, like in the sunlight, this one is like metal or is glass, whereas the first one was metal. And Ryeth, you're able to like just glance over at it and be like that's poison. Like that looks like wyvern poison. Even it looks like exactly like the poison that was coming off the stingers of these creatures.
Thinnea could
Maybe
dip her arrows in
Thinnea.
it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right, I'll hand it off to Thinnea. Said she already enjoys putting poison in her body anyway.
So yeah, you got the 2 potions, you got his magic tooth, and then he's got these 3 weapons. There's a hand axe, a warhammer, a broadsword, which is basically like a short sword, and this bundle of rope on his belt.
I'm gonna take the rope, since I feel like if we're going into a cave, we might need some rope at some point. I'm assuming that Poe's eyeing the battle axe.
It's just a hand axe.
It's a hand axe.
It's a hand axe. Okay, does anyone want the hand axe?
I mean, we can just take it and sell it somewhere.
Okay. Does anyone not have like a hand weapon? Does Sarah have a hand weapon?
I actually don't have a hand weapon.
All right, you take whatever you want because I think we're gonna get into very close combat if we're going into a cave. So I think it'd be good if you had something on hand,
All right,
literally in case.
I'll take the hand axe.
Awesome.
Can I inspect the hand axe? Nah, that's too much. All right, hand axe.
Thinnea, you took his tooth and they gave you the poison, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I'll take the broadsword.
Okay. R.I.P. Olus Broadblade. We barely knew ya.
I knew enough.
Yeah, I think he did. And so, yeah, Gita and Ugat have walked up. Ugat looks pretty fucking hurt.
So, short rest?
It's like, and
Hit him a few more times. Let's see what happens.
I think we need to get across this bridge right now.
Gita says,
agree.
we are not safe out here in the open.
Okay.
We must move quickly.
Fuck.
You all ready?
Yeah, let's go.
I'm so hurt. Okay.
Yeah, you are. Fuck. Yeah, I guess I'll do it. I will walk over to Shael and I'll say, you need to learn to stay a little bit more safe in these battles, my friend, and I'll cast Cure Wounds on him.
I got 2 hits.
13 points. And
Nice.
then I will just hand him my 1 healing potion that I have.
What a guy.
Wow,
What a guy.
that's like the most selfless move ever.
That's a 2d4. I'm gonna drink it now. I'm so almost dead.
Yeah, but remember, anyway, yeah, sure.
What?
Okay. So you guys are moving up towards the bridge?
Yeah.
Bridge.
Go to the bridge.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
do we want to just do a marching order and you can move us all? Okay, I guess we can.
Sure, I would be happy with that too. That's fine by me.
So I think Sarah and I should be on different sides of the. So wherever she is, I'll go on the opposite side of the path.
Okay, she'll go in back with everyone then.
Okay, then I'll go up in front, behind maybe Gita, who's leading the way.
Okay, yeah, you guys are tougher. So as you guys are coming along up to the bridge here, Gita is like looking around like, damn. She like points across like, I think the entrance to the caves. I'm not sure which side this is on. I thought it was going to be on our side of the ravine, but I don't see anywhere obvious. Do we want to cross? This is a
Yeah.
hard decision.
Yeah. Hey, it's Poe here. I think we should cross this bridge.
Very well. And so she begins like making her way. Ugat's in the back. And so as you guys like start making your way across the bridge, she's a little more than halfway across, right?
I'll put my hand on her shoulder and cast resistance.
Okay. As you guys, you're all like crossing the gap of this chasm, and you could see the cliff on the other side, and another pair of these stone towers. And the two that you moved past to come in, they're kind of octagonal or whatever, covered in vines and ivy, crumbling. The mortar is old, the stones are old and worn, and there's moss growing deep in the crevices between them, and you could see where the crenellations have started to break down and collapse off the top, and crows kind of like alight in every little space around this chasm. As you guys are coming, there are crows sitting on the far side, crows on the bridge itself that take off flying and circling over the deep fall below. And as you guys are walking across this archaic kind of stone bridge, which is battered and crumbling itself in places, you can glance over the edge and look down beneath you, and there's just this kind of churning mist of fog and darkness below it. You don't hear water or anything like that underneath you. There's no discernible bottom to this pit, which is ominous enough as you go. And you could see these square towers on the opposite side, mirroring kind of the ones that you're on, that you passed to come out here. And so as you're coming along, you hear sound from out in front of you on the towers. You hear like the crumbling of rocks, and then like a stone falls off this tower here on the left, crashing down into the bridge below it. And this figure appears, emerging up over the edge of like the battered crenellations at the top, the parapets of this tower. And you see the hulking, familiar green-skinned face of one of the participants of Chimerion's Gambit, who you helped out slightly.
Oh no!
With his white painted A on his head, servant of Chimerion, much like everybody's friend Thinnea. Here's Woon, the orc Woon, looking down over the edge of this tower, and you could see just over his shoulder, jutting up above him, the square cut hefty silhouette of Kurg Fellhand's mighty cursed axe. And he chuckles a bit as you guys are coming and calls out, "Oh, Lady Hallowwhisper, so good you brought your friends." Like, do you guys stop? Like, Gita stops, like, hesitant, like, looks back at all of you, like, waiting kind of for, like, do I want to deal with this? And he's just kind of, like, standing on this tower, which is about 20 feet up above the base here. And so Woon kind of chuckles when he sees, like, no quick forthcoming response. And he says, "Can't thank you enough for this axe." He says, "It's done good work by me." He says, "I saw you got a piece of the dwarf back there. I'm real sorry about it. I wanted that little one for myself."
Me too.
"Well, we can't get everything we wished, can we? But on that note, there is an old friend of yours what's been walking around looking for you past few days. That fellow from the first day. That whiny little bugger from the Crimson Dynasty. Oh, well, look,
Oh my god.
there he is, right there," he says, pointing. And so, like, you guys turn behind you, and somehow, and possibly for the second time since you guys have come to Chimerion's Gambit, a foe who you've killed, or thought you've killed, left for dead behind you. In fact, Shael is wearing his cloak. Lovely red cloak it is.
It is a nice cloak.
Hanging at his belt. But coming from behind, as Woon points, you guys turn back to the other side of the bridge, and stepping out from around the towers that are behind you, and out onto the bridge itself, you see a figure that you might not immediately recognize at first glance. Hold on one second. I'm sorry. I made a mistake.
Man.
I'm sorry.
This is what happens when you make friends.
Quick. It is, isn't it? In a new red cloak, in hulking armor, you see the face of Alton Ducat, the son of the General Ducat, whom you guys killed on your first day, standing as he's like walking out onto the bridge, and you see that he has a helmet in one hand that he's lifting up and sliding down onto his head. But just before he does, you guys are able to see his eyes in the sunlight, and you realize that they're the eyes of a man that's already dead, and that you've heard rumors before of Ducat's father, who he mentioned on those first days, of his father, the General Ducat, who was killed in the Sapphire Dynasty months ago and raised as a Death Knight afterwards. And somehow similar magic has been laid on the corpse of Alton as he is coming out behind you. And Woon is just chuckling I owe you one, Hallowwhisper. I'll let you run past me now, but you best run. For that one there, he ain't never gonna stop so long as you all live.
I would suggest that we run.
And just chuckling, he's like, I'll see you all at the end, if you make it. Says, you best hope you don't see me. And he
Is there a hand symbol or something for Chimerion?
Yeah, absolutely. And
It's
I
the middle finger.
Replicate it, but yes, there is absolutely a salute used in the Emerald Dynasty that signifies honor, respect, and obedience to Chimerion.
I will do that to him, even though he's threatening us.
And while she does that, I turn to Ryeth and I say, "Don't we need that axe?"
Am I allowed to talk out loud?
Yes.
I think so. It's bad. It shouldn't exist.
Isn't that what we need to get out of here too?
Is it?
I think it has something to do with it.
And so as you are having this conversation, Thinnea, you throw this symbol to Woon surreptitiously, and he just nods to you with acknowledgement as he takes a step backwards, and you lose sight of him on the angle looking up at this building. And stalking along the bridge behind you is this new Ducat Risen, the Death Knight Ducat.
Ducat 2.0.
And so Ugat is just get out way, move out way, move.
I want to push him off the bridge.
Yeah, I move over when he's doing that and block him.
He's nimble. He's a goblin. He darts between your legs to the other side of the other side.
Aww.
He's just trying to work his way up here, but he's stuck over here, next to you guys. What would you guys like to do? Sarah's closest.
We do not want to fight him on the bridge.
Correct.
This Hallowwhisper, do we move?
Run.
Run!
Run!
No.
And so you guys come charging forward to the other side of the bridge, and the Death Knight does not run. Methodically, slowly walks after you. But as you guys come darting to the other side, you could see on the building opposite the one Woon was on, this one here to the left, there is a passageway, a stairwell leading down into the ground. And there's actually bars over the top of it, like almost a gate, right? That's been laid down flat, at an angle, slightly like a Bilko door into a basement, right? But there's this gate over this staircase leading down into the ground, and it doesn't look as though it's got a locking mechanism or anything like that on it. It looks like it's just been laid over the stairs. And so Gita says quickly, "I think this is it. The way to the leech."
I'm going to put myself at the back of the group while they're trying to get down there.
I'll put myself at the front because I'm on a GTFO.
So I'll reach down and try to pick up the grate, move the grate.
Okay, and Gita's going to help you. So roll a strength check with advantage, John.
Okay. Check.
Yeah, just a straight up strength roll.
16. Whew,
Oh.
thank God.
Advantage. Nice, cool. So she's got it with you, and the two of you are like, "Arr!" And you're able to like lift this thing up. It's pretty heavy, and start like sliding it over to the side just enough to create like a 5-foot gap leading down. And she's like, "Do you want me to cover you?"
Yeah. Cover us. And then
Go.
Tone,
Go.
get down there.
Okie doke.
So Tone goes first. I'll go second.
Okay. And so, like as you slip down, you see Shael standing there. Shael, you like glance over your shoulder, and like Gita is like calling to you. "Old man, your friends have gone in already. Quickly, pull the others."
But what's going on back here, guys? What's going on the bridge over here?
Jeez.
No.
How high are the walls on the bridge?
Negligible. Less knee high.
I'm gonna say stay back, and I'm gonna charge at him.
Oh, initiative! Let's roll some initiative. This is like officially where we're at here if charging is happening.
All of us are just the ones that are on the bridge.
Yeah.
I mean, like you guys can roll because you're going down underground. I don't want to like get this too confusing. Just roll.
Just cursed, man. What did you get?
I'm just cursed. He says, "Poor guy," hasn't been able to make a single good initiative roll. So
I'm going to charge
have
forward,
it.
but I have to
Not
wait
a
for everyone else to do something
single
first.
A lot of duplicates. Duplicates.
Yeah, duclets.
I like it. I like it.
That was pretty well played, John.
Being like, technically, I was charging like a surprise round.
I agree.
No,
I think I
get
should
it.
go first.
I get it. I
Yeah.
will let you go first, but I just want to make sure that like there's an order of what happens immediately preceding that. So you come charging forward, right up to the face of Duquette, and then what? Thunderwave?
Yep.
Okie dokie. Fire it off. What is he making? A strength save?
Constitution.
Okay. Okay, cool. DC 16. Let me just double check all my stuff here. Nope, that's not important. Nope, that's not important. That's also not important. He does not have advantage on this. Okay, you got it. Good luck, Thunderbuck.
Come on. Come on.
Team. So, he takes half damage, which is going to be 6. He is not pushed back. Boom! As Tone and Edgar begin running down the stairs. You're like one right behind the other. Tone in front, Edgar right behind. You hear the familiar sound of thunder as your young friend Ryeth, the Thunderbuck, begins throwing magic around out on the bridge. To that end, Poe, it is your turn. What would
Okay.
you like to do?
No.
I'm going to use my action to use my channel divinity and cast Radiant Defense on Shael.
Okay. Got it.
And I'm going to dive into the hole.
Cloak your allies with radiant armor, 30 feet. The first time that allies hit by an attack, they take radiant damage equal to 2d10 plus 5. Got it. Okay, Shael, you see like this glimmer of light appear on like the edges of your skin, like around you, and you feel yourself enshrouded in this like protective magic of Poe's prayer. That was that, Shael. You're up.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast Thundering Smite, and I'm gonna step up. I can't get all the way up there, but I'm gonna step up right behind our Thunderbuck. I think it's here. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's as close as I get. So, but I think that's all. Oh, and no, yeah, that's it. That's a action movement, no bonus action.
Action movement, no bonus action. Thinnea.
I'm gonna ask Ryeth if he's gonna try it again or not.
No, I can't anymore. He's close to me now. I'll knock both of them off.
Okay, so I'm gonna
Run.
leave.
Run.
Yeah,
Run.
yeah.
Just gonna let
Um,
Ryeth out.
So I'll
Run.
dash, which I think will put me through the hole.
Mm-hmm. Sure does. Okay, that's Thynnea's turn. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hmm. Oh. At the end of Thynnea's turn, before his own turn comes, he casts a spell, and he reaches out to touch you, Ryeth, Thunderbuck. 25.
Whew.
That hits.
Oh, God.
Does it? Oh, does it?
Just barely.
You take 13 points of necrotic damage
Okay.
as he inflicts wounds on you. And now it's his turn. He, okay. Okay,
Good.
I just want to make sure I'm like getting all my shit right. Okay, he does not have a shield in his hand. He just grabs the sword with his second hand and not even like making a sound. He rears back and takes a swing at you.
Yes.
Excellent. Oh, that was very important.
Good job, Shep.
That was very, very important. Shael throws the shield out and around you. Shael pulls you into a turtle hug, and suddenly there's a shield in front of you, Ryeth Thunderbuck, and you thank the creator of the turtles for it, because Duke's sword crashes into it, riding up, and you realize it probably would have cut your body in half. Even still, it rides up the shield and like cleaves into you for it's just the first part, 16
I'm down.
plus
Oh,
plus oh, you're down. Okay.
I'm down.
So 16, and you see like necrotic energy roll off the sword in some fucked up kind of smite.
Ooh, we want that sword.
That was his attack. Tone, you're underground. Are you doing anything? You're in the stairwell, and you see Thynnea's come running in. What would you like to do?
Can I make a perception check just to
Sure.
check out since I have that dark vision to see what might be in front of us? 15.
Okay, yeah, so you can see that the stairwell leads down, and there's all this moss growing, and actually at a couple of places you could see what looked like roots almost like growing through the mortar of the stone around you. The stairs themselves are kind of slippery and covered in like plant life, and there are vines growing down there in like the dim light at the bottom. But essentially the staircase leads down, and then it turns, and then it looks like it turns again, and it's hard for you to like see beyond that, but it looks like just stairs leading downwards into a series of like switchbacks, right?
I'm trying to yell, Ooga, we got lots of moss and roots in here. I know you like that stuff.
I'm coming. Don't stay out here with that guy.
Good call. I guess I'll wait until everyone gets in, and then we might as well start this journey together.
You guys have a lot of faith. Sarah sees him go down, and she screams, "No!" And so she
Son.
Grandson.
Yeah.
she comes running forward and gets like next to you, Shael. And she's like standing dangerously on the edge of the cliff as she reaches out and touches like Ryeth on the ground. And she's just like, he can't die yet.
I agree.
23 hit points back, Ryeth.
Fuck yeah.
She
Nice.
conjures the magic of the wind, and your eyes open. You feel the cold of the stone underneath you, and just see the Death Knight's form looming above. Okay, at the end of her turn, he takes another legendary action and is going to
Be a jerk.
make a retributive strike, and so he makes an attack roll again at Ryeth, who's on the ground. Because he's
I don't have
above
anything to help him this time.
I know.
It's okay. It's okay, bro. I knew
Seven
what I was doing. It hits.
Oh, shit.
for 10 points of slashing damage.
Cool.
Ugat goes, he runs into the hall. He gives 0 fucks about this. He's like, don't die out there, smart guy! And runs into the hall. Ryeth, you're up.
Oh, and you're up.
Ooh, somebody knows how dangerous it is in this fight.
Yeah, right.
My house.
Man, I've burned. I don't know if you guys have been keeping track. I've burned everything I have. That was my last ditch effort to knock him off into the void of oblivion. So,
That's what I figured.
What I am going to do is cast invisibility on Shale.
No, get yourself out.
Shell's
No, we're not gonna
he has an
leave you.
invisibility potion.
Yeah.
Oh, then I'm going to cast invisibility on Sarah.
Okay.
And then I'm going to use Tempestuous Magic to get 10 feet away from him.
Okay.
And then I'm going to make a mad dash for the hole.
Okay.
Like, run!
Got it. Ryeth, you cast the invisibility behind you, glancing at Sarah, and you see her form like fade out of sight, and you could see like the terrible concern on her face, like as she's like looking at the wound that you just sustained from this attack, and like vanishes before you, and you land. The wind whips up around you. As you guys stand on this bridge, Sha'el's cloak tattering and slapping around at the base of his legs. Sarah's hair like wild around her, and it lifts you up right over the turtle and drops you down behind him, and you begin running the rest of your 30 feet to what, there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Gita is holding her action here next to you. She like steps up here and is just like waiting. Wait, you're over here, right? She like steps out in front of you and is waiting. And at the end of Gita's turn, he will make an attack, his last legendary action for this round. And at disadvantage, because she is invisible, he like just puts his shoulder down straight up and like barrels forward at Sarah.
No.
Okay, nice.
11. It's not that bad. No.
11 does not hit.
That's a
Oh,
post athletics check. He
Oh.
like gets down low and is like and just like
Wait.
boom.
So he's going to attack Sarah.
Yes, basically. He's
Then
like he's going
I'm
to
gonna
like,
use
grab
this to
her,
hit
trying
him.
push her. Oh wow, look at
Nice.
you.
And so I get the flail.
Okay, hits.
Nice.
And
Nice.
also the thunderous smite.
Oh
Sweet.
my word. So roll the flail damage. And I'll roll his saving throw. He's got a high strength, man.
Oh,
oh,
He makes
so
a
close.
strength save. That was close.
but he's at 0 move speed for the rest of his turn.
Nice.
Y'all can run away.
Boom! And this explosion of fucking thunder happens. Sarah's like jostled. That's what did we just say? 23. Got it. Okay. Poe, you're up.
I'm in the hole, so I guess I'll. What can
You
I
want it.
see? Like what's-
Nothing. If you're like down in the staircase, you can't see anything. You see Thinnea like coming down the stairs with you. You see Ryeth like standing just like around the edge, just like you could see like the edge of Ryeth's kind of robes blowing at the edge of the doorway, right? And you hear Gita like screaming, like, hurry up, let's go.
Is the tunnel dark?
It's like dim, right? There's light from the entrance leading down.
So I'm
and then
gonna.
it kind of carries in, and yeah.
I'm just gonna cast light and move forward like 30 or 25 steps to get out of the
Okay.
way and give people
Okay.
like a light to go toward.
Got it. So you run down to the first landing, and like now with the magical light conjured, you're able to see easily. And there's all this plant life, these like strange vines and roots kind of peeking in through the walls and moss on the walls and stuff. And you're able to run down to like the second landing and like wait and look back up for everybody. Sha'el, you're up.
I'm going to run. I can take the disengage, right, to not get
Yeah,
slapped.
you sure can. Yeah.
Let him slap you. Oh no, wait,
No,
it's an attack.
no, don't let him slap me.
Well, you have
Slap you
that
around a little bit.
radiant.
You have the
that,
radiant
like,
armor.
radiant
Yeah,
defense.
but if I can, I mean, he
I
can
hear
try
you.
and slap me,
No,
but I'm
not
running.
saying you should want to take damage. You're the guy who does not need to take more damage.
Yeah, I've taken plenty of it today. I'm going to run and hope I don't die, and I'm aiming for the hole.
Okay,
if I can
so
take.
you disengage and you're gonna run back 30 feet. You can't dash. You can get to
Okay.
like right where she is, right?
All right, that's fine.
And so she'll like step back out of your way. So you're there, she's there, Ryeth. Okay. You disengage and charge back Thinnea. You're in the hole. You're not coming up out of it, are you?
Nope.
Okay. Ryeth, before you're able to go again and your turn comes to get back into the hole, you like see again just wildly like rush at Sarah and make 2 like separate attacks. What do I have here? 14. Yeah. He's able to get a hold of her despite the invisibility. And she like somehow like still like fighting with him, teetering on the edge, like struggling. Like she turns and like looks at you and she's just like, help her, save the tree. And with that, like she grabs him and like pushes herself off the edge of the bridge. And like holding on to like his cloak, he like, you could see like his undead form, like he's leaning and she's literally like just hanging from his cloak, like feet dangling over the chasm. And like he's got his sword and like swings at her while like she's clinging to him. Because he's got like his second attack, right? Yeah, he does. Let's see. Just feels one hit. And with that, she just like yanks backwards, and the 2 of them like tumble off the edge of the cliff. As like he cleaves her one time, she like lets go. And Ryeth, you just see the 2 of them like falling down into the darkness. And I think probably this is an appropriate place to stop, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Holy
Okay, cool. That was a lot of fun, you guys. That was a
Trying
good
like
night.
not to really cry right now, man.
I know, me too.
I'm holding it back.
Your mom died.
She's not my mom. That was just a dad, bro.
I'm glad that you got your answers before she did them, so you
Yeah,
didn't think.
that's. She can still be alive, man. You never know.
This guy died once already. So, yeah.
Yeah. but
Yeah.
We don't want her to come back like that.
Fingers crossed. That was a lot of fun, you guys. Tonight was a good night. You guys did really well. I had a lot of fun. Role playing, killing, combat, wyverns, good stuff. All good stuff.
Yeah, that was incredible. I don't know. I'm still in shock. Like,
Yeah, man.
We lost her. The LVP. It's finally
LVP.
she made one move to become the MVP in one fell swoop.
one act of greatness at the
Yeah.
Okay, well, for all you guys watching, you can follow all of us on Twitter, and please check out our official Twitter. It's at TPK Games on Twitter and at twitch.tv/tpk_games. All of the links will be in the show notes, so check it out. I just want to thank Andrea for doing all of our artwork. There's a whole list of great artists that have contributed to the NPCs and atmospheric elements of this game. So check that out as well. And if you want to know what music we were using it during these battles, that is also there in the show notes. So
All the
anything else?
music is stuff that's in Roll20 for those of you out there who are playing. It's Kevin MacLeod stuff, and it's all pretty cool, and he's very cool about finding ways for us to use it. Yeah, thanks again to all the artists. And thank you to you guys, wonderful players, for letting me toy with your emotions for 3 hours. You're my
Come back next week. We're going to be starting our prequel game, Abrea Before the Campaign, is the title of that. So we'll be back next Tuesday, and then to see the rest of this adventure continue, it'll be the Tuesday after that. So every Tuesday we'll have some content for you at 4:30, 7:30 Eastern. Check that out.
Yeah, thanks so much for stopping by, guys.
Thank
Thanks, everyone. See you
you.
next